Greetings, mortals, and welcome back.
I just took a look at my YouTube thing, and apparently the algorithm picked up the Resurgent Ranger VOD quite heavily, which is pretty funny. Quite heavily. It has 200 views in 24 hours, which for me is a lot of views in 24 hours. Let's see here. No spike in watch time. I don't think too many of those people stick around. YouTube just keeps putting my videos in front of people, putting the middle of a let's play in the face of someone who hasn't seen any of the other videos. So it'll be like me in the middle of a random. It's very bizarre and amusing. Strange behavior. Anyway, did I do my intro?
Greetings, mortals, and all that jazz.
And we are ready to go. So sorry about not streaming yesterday. I actually might have been able to sneak in a stream yesterday. I made the comment that I might stream if the power came back on within an hour. The power did come back on within an hour. I hadn't turned any of the lights on in the house before the power went out, or when the power was out, so that it was identifiably different when the power came back on. So I was just lying in bed on my phone as my phone is dying because I forgot to recharge my phone. Just going, I wonder when the power's going to come back on. That's weird. I have a weird, noise that I hear that kind of sounds like an air conditioning running or something like that, but it's not the AC because I don't have the AC running. There's the AC in the other fucking room. 15 minutes prior to me actually coming out, I heard the AC turn back on. I'm just an idiot. At the very edge of my hearing. But I wasn't expecting it to come back on that quickly. So, I'm not actually entirely sure. My phone didn't reconnect to the Wi-Fi, actually. Or at least it didn't do so in a way that's visually apparent to me. My phone doesn't tell me when it reconnects to the Wi-Fi, I don't think. Alright, so today we are going to do Tularea. So I've done some thinking about it. I wasn't sure how I wanted to handle the fact that I was wrong about Evanmorn Island, and that I do need to go to Deja before I can get to Evanmorn Island, which is pretty rough, not going to lie. So I confirmed a couple of things. Well, confirmed is a stretch. I asked a couple of things. First thing that I asked, is there an unarmed trainer anywhere else? To which the answer appears to be no. So we can tell that whoever it is on the development team of the Merge mod, and I am calling you out, whoever it is that added the Arms Master trainers to Might and Magic 6, I see you. I know it's a pain in the ass to go all the way to the Land of the Giants in order to get Grandmaster Arms Master, or is it in Regna? It's probably in Regna. Having to go to a late game area to get GM Arms Master is a real pain in the ass. You should have covered your tracks better. I see you. I know why you did it. I know why you can get Expert Master and Grandmaster all in Freehaven now, and you can't get any of the other skills. I know why. I know why that is. Yeah, it's Land of the Giants and it's Regna, right? So, you have to go to one of the two end game areas in order to get it. I know why Grandmaster Arms Master is in Freehaven now. I know why it is. I know why it's there. I know why Unarmed, which is unavailable in any of the other continents, is still unavailable in any of the other continents, and Arms Master is. I know why. I know why you didn't merge people. I know. And I guarantee you, I don't know, it was one person. I'm sure those are collaborative mods. I'm sure there's one person who said, you know what, it's a really good idea to do this. I'm going to do this. My knight needs Grandmaster Arms Master at a reasonable time period. It's so much of a pain in the ass. I see you. I see you. I see what you did. Did I need to go here? No, I didn't need to go here, did I? Let's reload the autosave. I need to go to Tularea. I feel like I can't get to Tularea from here. But can I get to... I don't think I can get to Harmondale from here either. So never mind, I was wrong. I do need to go here. So we're fine. We're heading over here. We are going to... Let's check if this well works now, because that would be convenient. And I was tempted to put in a feature request to ask that they consider putting a unarmed trainer in other sections for this, but nah. It's not that big a deal. Personally, I feel like it makes sense to have trainers in it. Like, if you're going to make it so that you have differences in the way that the trainers are available, I think it makes sense to make it consistent, have it so that every trainer is available in each continent. Each of the 3 continents has access to all of the skills. Personally, I think that makes sense. But it seems like that project wasn't really even begun, right? That what I thought the Arms Master thing was like the beginning, like that process being started. But then it turns out, no, it's just Arms Master that they did that for, and it's because they had a knight in their party and they thought it was a pain in the ass to have to go all the way to Land of the Giants or Regna. So yeah, they didn't have a monk in the party, so they didn't care about unarmed and dodge. I'm calling them out. I'm calling them like I see them. And I don't know who, and I don't know anyone in the mod team who was on like either of the merge projects, right? So I don't know anyone on in the merge project, so I don't have to worry. I don't think I do. Maybe I do. So I don't have to worry about calling out someone I know. How exciting is that? Let's see. We're going to Tularea. Did they add Alchemy to Light Magic 6? Did they also have a druid in the party? Did they add Alchemy to 6? If they added Alchemy to 6, I won't stop making fun of them. I think it's fine. The thing is that like mods these days feel much more like much less like the utter whims of random people than my modding community. The people at the mod are way too professional and way too like give way too much of a shit about balance and just like, you know, all the, you know, other stuff. They care too much. And for my part, I think we should go back to the days where mods were created by, you know, assholes like me who don't care about whether anyone else enjoys them. And mostly just create them for ourselves. And then maybe decide to... Wait. What am I doing? No, this is not acceptable. We are not going to Tularea yet. No. Nope. I am remembering what I need to do. I am remembering things need to happen. So I saved under test here. What skills do I need to get to GM? So we need to go to Jadame. I am going to go to Jadame to get this done. And we do have... There. Let's see. We need to go to Jadame, get Spear Grand Mastery done. I don't know how important it is right at this moment, but I'm going to do it anyway. With bodybuilding, we can't get that to master yet. Mastermind Magic, I don't believe I have access to yet. I do eventually get Grandmaster Water Magic. Spear GM is in Daggerwood Island, which is in Jadame, which is right here. So, why is... Oh, this is hair just from... It's still on my head. It's still on and in my head at the same time. That's delightful. This is the wrong one. That's fine.
Come aboard.
Okay.
Anchors
So we're
away.
popping over to Dagger Wound. We're going to get Spear Grand Mastery here. I turned off the thing right before I saved, which is pretty funny. We're going to pop over here. We're going to pick up Spear GM. We're going to pick up whatever else we can pick up here as well. And then we are going to start progressing through this next section. On the plus side... So we got GM Spear. So our Spear attacks are now going to reduce physical resistance by 1 with every hit. That's going to be really good for very durable enemies, particularly things like oozes. So where's our legendary spear? Oh, right, we have an actual... Wow, we have so many good spears. Wow, that's really, really frustrating, actually. All right, we have so many good spears. And none of them do what we want. Right, so we also took off the secondary effect on this because I'm smart. God, I need to rework this item before I can use it, right? Though I guess I don't need to use the legendary right now because as I established, I have a shit ton of good spears. So, considering that, maybe I should just equip either this spear... or this one. This gives me an additional 6% power at the cost of less lifesteal. I don't think I need a lifesteal weapon on this character, so we're not going to worry about the lifesteal being moved here. We're going to dual lifesteal weapons. How much of a boost would this give me? This would give me a 78% damage boost to equip this. That's so funny. Such a huge damage loss to... swap. God, 105%. Ooh. Can I justify using a low-level spear? Honestly, the of darkness component of this doesn't even make up for the lost lifesteal overall from... If I could double my damage by using a... there. The question is, do I have enough damage throughout the party that having this character's damage for this sake of reducing physical resistance is worth it? And I don't actually know. This is one of my higher damage characters if I dual wielding axes. So I'm not entirely sure that it's worth the massive DPS loss. That's something I'll have to reflect on. Alright, what we're going to do is... I think I am going to try to work on this item. I'd love to get GM Alchemy and just use enough Darkness Potion to finish this item. But GM Alchemy isn't coming for such a long time. Like, it's not even on the route. It's not even on the route. I think that we're gonna do our manipulation there first. Okay, so we have chain maxed, we have spear maxed, we have axe maxed. We need air mastery, which there isn't an air master here, right? We have master arms master, which I completely forgot was here. God, I'm such a dope. I completely forgot about Daggerwood Island existing, even though I've been back here so many times. And Daggerwood Island has master arms master. I didn't write it down on my list. I didn't write the places that I had already been to on the list because I'm like, oh, I'll remember what exists in the places that I've been to already. And I'm just a dope. I'm just a dope. So we're gonna pop over here. We're gonna pick up GM arms, or not GM. We're gonna pick up Master Arms Master on. Why not? It's $5,000. It's basically free. We can't get it before promoting with the final promotion, the Severia. So since we can't get it until the final promotion, we are kind of just stuck for a very long time. The final promotion for Severia is not going to happen until we get either the Vampire quest done, which is the equivalent of Rogue here, or until we get the Archer quest done, which is the equivalent of Rogue in 6. But in 6, we have to go to... in 6, we're going to Silver Cove next. We're going to Freehaven next. Then we're going to Silver Cove. We have 1 billion years in 6. Both of those places have a lot of dungeons in them. We have 1 billion years in 6 before we're moving on. So, the... I don't remember what I was going to say. But whatever I was going to say, it was very smart. Just trust me. And don't trust me. Never trust anything that I say. Let's see. There's 3 of them here. Expert body, expert plate, and there's another one here, isn't there? Maybe not. Maybe it is just the 2. Okay. Expert body, GM alchemy, master identifier. Because we need to get our monk and our Death Knight promoted. So Silver Cove gets us the 2nd Knight promotion. Frigid Highlands is way less of a priority. Because we're getting 2 characters promotions, both of which are critically important. Like, Komanaton without the 2nd promotion is, even with the 1st promotion, is going to be kind of garbage. Right? Like, with just the 1st promotion, we don't get GM unarmed. We don't get GM dodging. And without those, we basically have, like, a staff user with only access to Master Leather. And we saw how bad, like, GM Leather is, right? Like, Leather is not very strong. So we really need to be combining these attributes. Our monk needs to come online. So, whereas the Severia doesn't, it's great to have a little bit of extra damage and speed scaling on Dagger. That's useful. I mean, I guess it's useful to have GM Leather, but GM Leather we've established isn't really that important. I guess we can get Mastery in these, but we have all the important buffs already. And we can eventually get GM Arms Master and GM Alchemy, and that's, those are good. Those are important things. But all of these are kind of like... Severia's online already. Severia is already doing what Severia is supposed to do. Severia is providing the buffs. Severia is dealing a bunch of damage. Like, getting to GM Dagger doesn't fundamentally change anything about the way that Severia scales. Right? Getting GM Arms Master doesn't fundamentally change anything about the way that she scales. She just gets a little bit better when we get access to those things. Whereas with Komanaton is functionally not going to be scaling pretty much at all until... Well, that's not entirely true, but to a large degree, Komanaton is not going to be scaling much until we get access to GM staff. Wait. We only need GM staff. We don't need... GM dodging is good. We only need... Ooh. That makes it even more important. Where is the Master Staff Trainer? Don't tell me. Master Staff Trainer in 6 is going to give us access to GM as well. And I don't know. Goddamn, I just said, don't tell me. I don't actually care. Two of you! There's 2 of you doing it! There's 2 of you! I can't believe it! There's 2 of you. This is disgusting. Come aboard! We're going to Ravenshore. Does this count as a trip? Do we have to do the arena? That changes things, actually. So we don't need GM unarmed at all. We need GM staff. Interesting. So, yeah, once we get to Silver Cove, we'll have access to basically getting Commonaton online. Commonaton's durability will still be weak until we get GM dodge, but that's going to be fairly late. I was thinking that we were... That's actually not entirely true. When it comes to any game that I've played before, I absolutely do not care. I do not care. I absolutely do not care. When we're playing a game that I have not played before, I actually am fairly strict about like people not telling me anything. So just so we're clear, this is obviously not a game where we have a problem with it. This is a game where once I've played through a game once, people can tell me basically anything. Once I've beaten a game, I do not care. That's the point where we start Googling stuff. But when I'm going into a thing blind, I prefer not to know things. Let's see here. What am I going to do New Game Plus on Monster? That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know when I'm going to do the Monster Sanctuary thing next. I might save it until I do... where was I going? Integric. We were here. I think we're going to make the... Oh, wait. We got the GM. What are the... Let's see. Play the flute. That's not a flute. Let's see. Where are my flutes? Who's got my flutes? Where the hell is my flute? I have two flutes. I think they're both in the same inventory. Sortira, my musician? Sortira is my musician. There we go. Okay. Did I come up with wild shit the previous time? I don't even remember. I don't feel like I came up with anything too wild. Because everybody knew that I was going to love that fucking bird. Everyone knew that Kefka was going to be, like, my shit. Right? Or what, is it just that the playstyle that I had was unusual and everyone was like, oh, once you get this bird, it's going to go crazy because that bird is so much fun. For you specifically. Like, is it unusual the way that I played that game?
A quiet welcome. A quiet welcome. A quiet room, you say.
Yeah, I should probably get back into that because it was definitely fun. Gotcha.
Need a coach? Ready to go.
Come on, let's go in.
I was like, oh no, I evolved my thing and now it's not as nice because it has better stats but doesn't have as many status effects. I'm so sad. Please give me back my status effects from my baby. I actually really appreciate that they have a system where the sort of like evolved forms are not necessarily better, they're just different. I think that's very cool. We currently have protection from poison from the thing. Oh wow. How long has it been since we last tried this? It hasn't been that long, has it? I guess we haven't run into any queens yet. So there's our first queen. Okay, that's the boss. Is a swapper. Drop it back down here. Clear this out. No, I definitely haven't figured out a pretty adequate solution to the. That's exactly what I need! We cannot die now. We have to live. I need this Ascension Emerald. I need it. I needs it! Yeah, I might do the Monster Hunter Sanctuary and another playthrough of that sometime in the near future. That could be fun. What level are you all? Some tiny level? Level 70? It's actually not that low level. Very concerning. They can hit me from there. I'm going to basically try to lure them to here. I don't know if I can do this. I think we're going to get burned down before we have our HP.
I'm still standing. Someone heal me. I require assistance.
Yeah, I don't have enough throughput right now. I might have enough throughput if I wasn't insane, but with the insanity, there's no shot. Because we're really gonna struggle the second that we start meaningfully taking damage. I don't want to just like basically glitch everything out. So that's a wash. We're not doing that for right now. We can't do this yet, correct? Correct. Okay. We need mind, which we don't have. We need water, which we don't have. We need air, which we don't have. I don't think we have access to these at the moment. So we're going back to Might Magic 7's world. We're going back to Antagaric. And we are going to pop into Tularea. So, wait, do I need to do some inventory maintenance? It's tempting, but I actually don't think I do need to, now that I think about it. Because of the fact that, yes I do. Don't I have just a shit ton of random garbage? Yeah, I have at the very least a shit ton of random garbage to get rid of. Inventory boss is, oh god, I haven't even identified a bunch of stuff. So we can have some amazing things in here that I don't know about. I want to find a legendary crossbow of darkness. I want that. I think it's going to be really funny if the next legendary we get is a legendary crossbow of darkness. I want it more than anything. Yes, more than I want to get a good item, I want to get something incredibly dumb. I feel like I might have some self-destructive tendencies. I might have some self-destructive tendencies. God, I remember I had my troll who was so much fun. Yeah, that was a very cute and very fun game. I really enjoyed that.
See anything you want?
Kefka was such a fun bird. I really love that bird. Okay.
Let's leave it behind. We don't need this.
Poison spray.
I can use that.
We don't need this.
Sleep and unconsciousness immunity on a ring. I like it.
We don't need this.
Need it. Okay, this regens spell points over time and gives endurance in there. Okay, so I think you're basically done depositing stuff over. Immolation is
I can use
fire.
that.
We can do that. Ha ha ha. We've got fire now. Let's see. Also, keep like contemplating extremely briefly what kind of stuff I want to set up for myself. And then immediately losing my train of thought and going to whatever other nonsense I'm working on at a given moment. So, at some point, I need to figure out what proportion of what stats I want on each character. And some of this shit would obviously benefit from being able to be simmed out. Like the interaction between the stats is complicated enough that identifying like what ratio of which stats I want is probably more sophisticated than I'm going to be able to just like do on a whim. Like I'll need to actually. I don't think I would need to sim it. I don't think you need to sim it. I think it's just a little bit more complicated than I can do in my head. But you know, needing to use paper. Well, not paper. Needing to use Excel to do math? That's way too complicated. I couldn't possibly do something crazy like that. Let's see. Yeah. For like what ratio of like skills and thingamabobbers to have with the various legendaries in play? I mean, I guess you literally have the equation because it's literally the equation, right? Yeah. I feel like, I guess once you've got the actual damage equation that you've written, the implications of that damage equation aren't too huge of an extra step. They are a significant extra step, but they're not like an unreachable one. But yeah, because but like things like might has a fairly simplistic interaction. Might also has a thing though, right? Might has a static modifier as well, right? Like it gives you a plus X and a plus X%, right? I only see the plus X% here. So the plus X% is easy to calculate. The plus X component, I would need to have the actual thing available to be able to calculate that out. Accuracy and luck have a complicated relationship. Once luck also starts boosting things through the legendary, which I think I have that legendary on you, right? Do I not have that legendary on you? Did I put it on you? What's that legendary? I'm pretty sure I got that. I got a legendary that gives me that, right? Yes. So we have this. So this gives let's see. What are we doing? Now I've gotten distracted by doing math. Or not even doing math, just thinking about math. Math is so great. Let's see. Do I want to do something about you?
Junk.
I haven't identified everything in my inventory yet.
I can't learn.
Don't have that done.
I can't learn that.
We can't get here insanity yet. Right, we're going to Tularea. So let's just go clear out all of the trees and all that kind of stuff in Tularea. That shouldn't be too difficult, I would imagine. Tularea is a fairly low-level zone. The hard part is going to be once we get to the other place. Once we get to the first dungeon in Tularea, because the first dungeon in Tularea is going to be kind of a pain in the ass. But given my options, I feel like Tularea is probably the best place to like start things off, because of the fact that I'm basically just killing time until I can get access to Evanmorn Island. In 7, I don't really have a lot of priorities in 7 because I can't work toward a second promotion in 7. Because it's just, you have to go everywhere in the world before you get access to promotions. So I can't really do a promotion in 7. And we have...
The council is in session.
Unicorn, huh?
The
You know,
council
I've
is
killed
in
a few
session.
of those. If you're looking for a unicorn, I have a few of them dead. Master Earth Magic, which I already have. Very fun, very exciting. So Earth is the one that we have here. We have Gem Spirit, which we can't do yet.
How may we help you?
I can learn meditation. I'm going to go ahead and learn that. It is very funny to have meditation without... Here, we can get one.
Walk in the light. Goodbye.
Light? Well, I'll walk in the light. Ooh, that's going to be very useful, actually. Yeah, luckily we just have to clear out
Sorry.
this first bit. We don't have to do anything of particular complication until we have cleared this first bit. This bit is in my own. You know, it would be nice if that map worked. This is an Earth Resistance pedestal. Do I have Earth Resistance on? I do have Earth Resistance on already. Do I want to swap Earth Resistance for something else? I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just for now. I like Earth Resistance as a spell because it gives me some extra durability. This is the Master Fire Guild. We don't need any of this, I don't think. We have the Master Air Guild. Implosion. It's unfortunate for us.
Welcome to the Water Guild.
And nothing interesting for me, I don't think. Okay. It would be very convenient for me if the bounties spawned enemies. Okay, Hunter. So we can get the first promotion quest done here, but this promotion quest doesn't matter. Expert Identify Monster! I forgot this was here. So we finally have Expert Identify. Are you an Avli? Of course you're an Avli. So we have Expert Identify Monster. Already have Expert Dagger. Grab your quests to do the statuettes. The statuettes quest in this one is really cool. Like, because of the fact that you have to get the statuettes before you can put them down. Like, I think that's a very cool way to write a quest. Let's see, this is weapon thing. We have training. So we can train probably. We can get 2 levels right now. So we could do that if we want.
Welcome, travelers.
Assuming that we can. We might not actually be able to. Need to grab my Archmage deck, which is in somebody's inventory. Who has my Archmage deck? Which one among us has our Archmage deck? There it is.
Welcome, travelers.
Okay, we have a very low starting economy. I'm going to immediately just use Troll Trainer. And let's see here. We can try to win the wall battle if we want. I kind of like the cards that I have in play for my current objectives. So I don't necessarily want to toss any of them. I am actually going to use Work Overtime, which worked out pretty well for me, actually. Using a Corrosion Cloud. and we're using Floodwater. So the Floodwater drops the recruit gain down to 2 again. We have less magic than them, which is probably not going to change anytime soon. I'm actually just going to tag the Unicorn. We have a pretty decent income. That is concerning. I don't have the ability to pump that right this moment. Do I? I'm gonna hold. If I do, that's 17. If I do the Elven Scout, what would I toss? I could toss copying the tech, but I don't really want to. I'm going to Lightning Shard. I'm then going to Stone Giant. It's not quite legal, but it's not quite lethal. It is legal, it's just not lethal. Let's see here. I'm going to... I kind of have to pump this. I have 5. I'm probably dead here. I don't think I need collapse at this exact moment. I could toss Rock Stompers. We did not get what we needed. We needed something that gives me a tower or wall. That's so funny. Like I can't believe we lost like that. We just didn't have the resources necessary to play the one card we had. Okay, so we can use basic wall. Considering how like strong our economy games started there, it's very funny that we just didn't have the cards we didn't have the economy necessary to play the one card that we had in our hand that we absolutely needed. We were in a really strong position right up until the enemy got a couple of cards they needed to just end the game. Let's see here. I can just Gem Spear. If I do, that delays using Phase Jewel, which is probably fine. A brick shortage punishes them more than me, so I'm going to do this right off the bat. Let's see. We can get +2 dungeon. It's not super helpful, but it's something. We can get a Phase Jewel. And we can use a rock launcher. Nothing better to do with our masonry. We have a taller tower. Sorry, a taller tower wall. We have a tower wall. We're gonna get the words right eventually. We're not, because I gave up on getting the words right and just said deliberately. Alright, we're gonna do that. We're not gonna do a power burn. Fun as that might be. I'm going to go ahead and use Query's Help. And we're going to Rock Stomper. We can now use Crystallize without losing anything. I think we toss Power Burn, we don't need it. And we focus Designs, or we wait until we can Crystallize. 5 + 8. We're gonna end with Crystallize. There we go. All right. Whew. Let's see. Saving it up. Ooh, Gem Leather. One way to make that, I don't know if this would be terribly difficult to make happen. But one way to handle the bounties that might make them a little bit like less of a pain in the ass, if it's I guess this would take too much extra coding. No, this is a bad suggestion. But the bad suggestion that I have that I'm realizing is actually going to take way too much to implement probably is basically making it so that they only reset when you complete them, and if you've already killed the enemy in question, it just sets the flag. So you just already have the value stored for what the bounty is. So, like if I go in and talk to the person, they're like, "Oh, the bounty's on a unicorn." I go, "Oh, well, I already killed a unicorn." And I was like, that seems like it might be the easiest way to handle it. Then I'm like, no, because then you'd have to actually write like extra code for all of the portions of that to make that actually work. That would probably not be less work. That would probably not be less work than implementing the other thing. It's probably a pretty similar amount. That would be really nice. Like each bounty spawns a boss. That would be very fun. Let's see, what am I doing? I'm going to be killing a bunch of trees. Is it only trees here? Because it's only trees here, huh? We have a couple islands to do. We have some trees to butcher. I think I'm going to do the mainland first, and then I'll go over to the island and do the island. Speaking of which, let's get a buff cast. What level are the trees? Oop, that's a boss.
Let's fight.
It is level 92. Alright, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I think we can handle level 92. Maybe. Possibly. Okay. What do you have not cast? You don't have protection from body cast, which you could have active. We've got this active. Do we have anything we can take off of your... hands? Your protection from magic active. Okay, that's very expensive, but also pretty critical. Depending on... You know what? No, it's not that critical. We don't even have GM, so it's not like it's going to protect us from instant death. So this is one of those famous last words moments where you all get to laugh at me if I get hit with dual paralyzes on the two people who can cure paralyze, or if I get hit with dual stone on the two people who can cast root stone. You know, all that jazz. But this is gonna be a substantial improvement to a few of my stats. So it'll hopefully be worth it. We've already won. Oh no. I really wish that in Merge Mod these were all different from each other. So that you didn't have like the duplicates. Let's see here.
Too easy for
Okay,
me.
so this is level 63 by default. We can actually see how powerful their attacks are now. Ho ho ho. That's pretty exciting. Alright, let's see how tough these are. Was that a rock? I feel like that was a rock. No, it's just a normal... It's a rock attack, because they changed the animation. Oh, nice. Alright, looks like we're fine here. For now. Like, we're in a way stronger position relative to these trees than we were the last time we fought these trees, that's for sure. Last time we were fighting these trees, they were instigating us with every single attack. So... this is much more chill. Okay, we got another one down. Alright, this is going to be pretty fast. And we will hopefully be able to clear through some of these. I did not look at that club.
Let's see.
Nailed that. Very cool. Yep. Okay, this is going to be pretty chill. That's a good sign. We're about to start up a fairly difficult dungeon. The Might Magic 7 portion is going to be kind of rough for a while because we don't really have any options for places to go that aren't fairly difficult, or at least have at least one fairly difficult thing that we're going to have to do while we're here. So we have it's not Garrett's Forge, Clanker's Lab. We have Clanker's Lab here to clear, and that's going to be exploding enemies, lots of danger, lots of threat. They're fairly high level, but not super high level. My hope is that the fact that we're able to fairly comfortably handle the things out here is indicative that when we get in there, we're not going to be getting insta-gibbed. If we're getting insta-gibbed in there by the explosions, we're going to be in for a really rough time like we were last time. But if we're not getting insta-gibbed by the explosions, we have strategies that I think are pretty appropriate to handle that dungeon with relative ease, because we did the dungeon when we were getting like insta-gibbed by explosions, right? So if we aren't in that weak a position, I don't think that we'll have too much difficulty. So we're going to be finishing up here, and then we'll see what happens after that. Of course, these islands are going to be more of a pain in the ass because I can't just like run away easily. Okay. But maybe not. These are pretty spread out here, so I think we should be able to try to clear these without aggroing a huge number of them all at once. So we got through that. And yeah, they're not hitting that hard, so the regen is doing quite a lot of work for us here. Is that a top tier tree?
I don't know it.
There's 63, there's 76 there. I'm wondering what the top tier level is. Is this the top tier? This actually might be the top tier. The mid tier might be like 69 or something. Okay.
Ow!
Concerning. Okay, we took down the mid tier. Gonna just dive. We're a little bit low on resources, but we also are not in a terribly huge amount of danger because both the person who maintains regeneration and the person who maintains the preservation are both perfectly healthy. So we're not at risk of losing a bunch of time or of actually dying. Perfect. So, loot all these. Just massacre the forest, as is good and proper for the heroes to do.
Ooh,
There's no longer.
I
Chain.
can't
I
handle
can't fit anymore.
There's no room. Huh. it's useless.
Moving right along.
We don't need this. I can't carry anymore.
We have more spears.
It's
Let's watch. We're gonna get another
useless.
legendary spear. It's gonna be very funny.
It's useless. We don't need this.
And another ruby. Got a crossbow. And we're now back to
I can't identify that.
pretty close to full resources. So that's 69. So nice.
Got it.
Alright, we're clearing out this tree. Finish you up. And then we can go over here. I already looted this chest, but I'm checking it again because paranoid. And yeah, once we clear out the rest of these trees, we're actually done, I believe. So just one more little island. Oof, that is dizzying. Speed. I just realized that I did not start recording at the beginning, which I should have done. And we've got a boss here. It's an exploder. It does about 1,000 damage. So this is going to insta-gib with its attacks, which is going to be trouble. It is, however, close to this building, which is good. Can you insta-gib sortier? I guess I can't check, can I? Can I? It's not a fruit tree. Stop lying to me about what that is. It's definitely not a fruit tree. I'm gonna see if I can... I'm going to rotate around and try to clear out most of the island before I deal with that one. I think that that makes more sense than approaching it while everything else is alive.
Yes.
This will give us a place to retreat to.
Yes.
Yeah, we're basically going to be popping out and taking pot shots at the boss as it does its thing. And we can clear the bulk of the enemies on this island before we even have to deal with the boss, which is nice. And because it's an exploder, it's probably not going to be super dangerous. I'm going to go save. And we're going to see how this goes. I want to make sure that I'm not getting into actual melee range with it. Because if I get into actual melee range with it, I'm risking taking the physical attacks, which are going to be stronger than the earth attacks. So we should be able to basically bait an attack, or we cannot use... we cannot just stand behind the fruit tree. I hate to say it, the fruit tree does not protect us from the attacks. Let's see here. Could try... I didn't actually have like an instant death situation there. I'm wondering if I actually want to burn the rest of them down first. I think I do. because I can fairly trivially dodge its attacks.
Ow.
Oops. I say that and then I immediately walk into an attack.
Yes.
I don't know how hard it's going to hit Sortira. It seems to be lying about how hard it's going to hit. Because it actually took 2 hits to take out you, and you have 1,400. Oh wait, no, that's the spell. The spell would deal less than that anyway. Alright. That did nothing. So depending on who it's hitting, it's not hitting very hard. Okay. I was thinking we were going to have to dive behind cover between every attack, but that's not the case. So we cleared that out, and we're in pretty good shape. We've now cleared out the overworld in Tularea, which is a tiny space, not a lot, but a lot of loot.
We don't need this.
So
Let's
that's
leave it
good.
We don't need this.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ooh. We don't need this. Let's leave it behind. Let's leave it behind. Let's leave it behind.
Okay. All set. Well, let's see what level we're at now. We are just barely ahead of 6. So we now head over to 6. We clear out one of the Bootleg Bay dungeons and move on with our lives. Anything else we need to do here? I don't think so. I think we're done. We killed the one boss. We got. I guess we need to click on the obelisk. So there's that. Other than clicking on the obelisk, I think we're done. Is there maybe a treasure chest somewhere that I'm missing? Probably. So we're gonna go click on our obelisk. We have collected a few quests here. We've taken out a few trees, nothing too major. And we will soon be clearing a fairly difficult dungeon. So we're going to go to 6, get a easy dungeon done. Get an easy dungeon.
Powerful this is.
And we're going to fall off a cliff and hopefully not literally kill ourselves, because that would be embarrassing.
Huh.
Click the obelisk, pop back out of here, and we're heading back to Harmondale. So, over here we have... Let's go to the stable and see if that'll get me where I need to be. Let's grab this.
Need a ride?
Navely and Deja, neither of which are where I need to go. I think south is the correct direction. There's a toadstool. Heck yeah. Head, why? Why are you like this? You're supposed to give me forewarning. You're not supposed to start with a 3. It's not a migraine. My head hurts, but it's not a migraine. Give me a second. My eyes feel fine, but the pain is vaguely close to my eye. So give me a second. I'm going to put some eye drops in, because ever since getting the eye surgery, I do have a dry eyes problem. It can contribute to headaches. At the very least, it'll distract the nerves in the nearby area with a very strange sensation of coldness. Okay. Okay. So, the twinge is still there. It doesn't feel like migraine though. It's way too localized. It's way too localized for the way that I typically get headaches. Let's see. Where was I going? 6. Okay, we're going to my magic 6. Nothing too major. Just like a sudden, just a sudden burst of pain in my skull. The huge. No big deal. Everything's fine. Let's see here. I actually do feel fine now. So I think that I can vaguely tell that at some point there was a problem there.
Need a ride?
But it's not
Hitch up the horses.
it's not super obvious at the moment. Alright, we're going to see if we can get on a boat to Thinger. I believe it's this one? Where's this offer?
Welcome aboard.
Okay, so we can go to Bootleg Bay
Raise
from
the
here,
flag and hoist the
and then we have to
sail.
figure out which of these quests we're doing. I guess we're doing this temple next. So we did Temple of Sansa, we did the temple here. We have this one and then the Minotaur Temple, and I think that's it. So the Minotaur Temple is going to have to wait until after we have cleared the other one, because the other one we can immediately turn in a quest once we do it. And once we go to Free Haven, we'll be able to... we're going to get so much experience in Free Haven. We're going to get a crazy amount of EXP in Free Haven. Holy shit. Okay, we're just popping over here. We're going to start clearing through this. And once we have this done, we can move on again. I don't know that we're going to have too much difficulty here. There's rats in the middle here, right? I wonder how high level these rats are now. So the rats are only level 58. So the really, really low level enemies are not going to give us shit for EXP anymore, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we also need to figure out what's going on with that fountain. I'm very curious. We're gonna see. We now have disease on at least one character, so we'll be able to check if that fountain, or that well rather, can cure that disease. But I actually don't have the ability to cure disease
Let's leave it behind.
after a certain
Let's leave it
point.
behind.
So it's probably not a good idea to leave that up. Because if I leave that up until then, I won't be able to remove it if the problem is that it's just out of stuff. So we'll fight this adamantite rat. What level is the boss? 66. So the boss here is about as high level as the lowest tier of tree. It's just a little bit higher than the lowest tree.
But a scratch.
So we should be able to clear these out, get some nice quest experience, even if we don't get a ton of EXP for the actual dungeon itself. Alright. We need to... No, we don't. These aren't the type of barrels that have stuff. I don't think there's any treasure in those or anything. Oh. Seem to sap my might. Interesting. Does that skull pile do like a permanent stat drop when you walk near it? Because it didn't give me the weakness. Yeah, it's such a good song. The monks are pretty low level as well, I believe. It's only 73 on the top tier, so yeah, these are pretty low level. Toasted.
We don't need this. Let's leave it behind.
Nice. Okay, we got some shinies here. Oh, holy shit. I was not expecting Oren to go down like that. Again. Oren is struggling.
Let's leave it behind. My pack's full. Let's leave it behind.
I shouldn't leave inventory 3 open though, because it's not a general inventory. It's supposed to only contain things that I know for a fact I'm selling. Okay. So this, quite a few of them. Vial troll blood. Another vial troll blood. Interesting. Go. Rock. Yeah. There's a few more that I should probably pull out of this, you know? So, we should be able to clear these out without too much difficulty. Almost done. Do I have an any file set up incorrectly? I think I must. Destroy the evil crystal. We have 100% clearance here because this should be repeating, right? So I'm gonna change my any file and fix that. And that's this dungeon complete. We're gonna go level up, and then or not level. We're gonna go turn in the quest. Just right here. Here. Perfect. We have 82 available to us. And how are we doing on completion? We aren't going back to Might and Magic 8 until we've cleared the final area here, which is nice. Because Might and Magic 8, we're going to have to deal with a fairly high level dungeon. I actually don't know which is the better dungeon to do. I feel like the Dark Dwarf dungeon should be the higher level of the two and probably has more experience. So probably that one. That's actually going to be a really difficult dungeon to deal with now that I think about it. If I don't have access to Air Mastery to open the the fight in like an optimal position, that's going to be really, really difficult. Interesting. Okay. What are we doing next? Next is going back to 7, right? Yep, we're heading right back to 7. We're going to start doing Clanker's Lab immediately. Is Tularea a place that I can train? Not necessarily, but you know where is a place I can train? Iron Fist. So we're going to train an Iron Fist. And once we have done that, we can go to Tularea again. We'll do Clanker's Lab. I don't know how hard it's going to be. My honest guess is it's going to be pretty hard. I don't think I'm going to get insta-gibbed. But it's still going to be a very difficult dungeon. I will not have access to Invis to get in the door. So... Air Magic Mastery would be Mist. Bracada Desert, maybe? Or is that GM? That's probably GM. Bracada, I think, is GM. And an 8. I have no idea, an 8. I don't know
Hey,
anything about 8.
looking to train? Well done. Well done. Well done.
It's famous YouTuber H Bomber Guy. What is he doing in this game? I didn't know that he had...
Hey, looking to
Like,
train?
he doesn't look like him. He just looks very similar. Like, I can tell it's not H Bomber Guy, right? I can tell that is not Harris Bomber Guy. However, what is his actual name? He makes the joke that his name is Harris, but Harris isn't his actual name. Did your mana just decrease? It's weird. So, yes, we're going to Tularea again. I guess I could have checked to see if... Wait. I guess I could have checked to see if I could just take the thinger, but it's fine. So, we're heading to Tularea. We're going to pick up some food. I should have picked up some food along the way, probably. It's fine, though. Tagaric is where we're going. We will now go to Bounty Hall. We're going north to Tularea. Okay, so now we're going to do a really, really hard dungeon. We're going to first pick up the 2 pedestals here that we were reliant on, and which I never actually adjusted for the fact that I didn't have anymore. So it's a good thing that we had such an easy time with that dungeon that we were just in. And we're going to basically be flipping back and forth between stuff that's really, really difficult and stuff that's mostly fine. Like, we're going to have some stuff like what we just did. This is going to just be really easy now because we're just so far ahead of the level 1 enemies now. The level 1 enemies are never going to pose a major threat to me again, right? Like, we're not going to have a situation like we had in the previous run. Like, speaking of the nature of the way that the runs play out, we don't run into a situation where the level 1s are suddenly 100 levels higher and catch up to us again. That's not a thing that happens in this run. So
Welcome, traveler. Our meals are second to none.
the rats and things like that are never catching up again. Well, I mean, unless we fight some in the thinger. So, we have probably 1, possibly 2, almost certainly just 1 save that we can do in this dungeon. That's all we've got. And did I have something else that I need to do before I hop in? I don't think so. I think I just needed the food, right? Needed the food, needed to hit the pedestals. Other than that, I think we're golden. So, we are in the correct place, right? Yes, we are in the correct place. I'm going to save this under... What was that place that we just completed called? Tularea... Let's just do pre-Clanker. Alright, so we're popping into Clanker's lab. We immediately have a bunch of enemies aggroed. And they are Gogs. So we'll see what level the Gogs are. This is level 102 for a mid-tier Gog. Is it Temple of the Fist? The issue is that I won't remember the name. Like, I won't be able to recognize that name offhand. So, this Magog is not hitting us right now. I might be should just ignore this in favor of killing the others.
That was tis but a scrap, I don't know.
That is the famous last words. Fisters fisted. Indeed. Okay. I think that we need a...
Come on, let's go in.
Route to success here. Oh, that's a problem. I don't think that we're going to be able to, like, just slowly whittle our way through the enemies here.
This will be fun.
Because they're just too strong. And this corner I don't think is good enough to fight it. I could try to fight in this corner, actually. There's only so many that show up on the other side. Let's try that corner.
This will be fun.
Indeed. That's how it be in this industry. Okay. How are we? We're doing badly. That's how we're doing very, very badly. Negative 500. We didn't even have a top tier on us. And these are the weakest enemies in the dungeon.
What lies ahead?
Alright, we're popping over here. Popping around this corner. Popping around this corner. Popping in here. And we can't get through because this thing is blocking my path. Is there a corner I can use?
What lies ahead?
Like, I could try using this corner. The issue is that they'll come from both sides here, right? The one... They don't have a melee attack, do they? I can't find out. Okay.
I've never seen one before.
So basically, I need to be able to clear out the one on the right here. I basically need to clear one of the two sides. If I clear one of the two sides, then we have a coherent opening here.
What lies ahead?
This is not going to work this time because there's just too many enemies in play, unless I can make this corner work, which I don't think I can. I don't think this corner is ever going to be viable because they'll wander in from both sides of the hallway, and depending on which side of the hallway they come in.
Looks like this.
So this is too many. Can we go here? We might be able to go here, actually. This might work. No, it won't, because I think that was getting hit from behind by enemies downstairs. We're gonna find out, but I think that's what just happened.
Let's go in.
If I go here, god damn it, I need to be able to see. No invis for this is gonna make this very rough. This is inevitably going to result in enemies just leaking to me. The leaks are going to be too big for that. There's no strategy with that opening area, I don't think, that's going to work consistently. I could try this. I was definitely in an inappropriate location there, so that's not going to work. I'm going to try the other side.
Come on, let's go in.
And it does look like, if you look behind me, you see a brass golem. So, going into that corner, we are going to pull the golems, which means that corner is non-viable. Go over here. This is viable right now, but it's not going to work for my purposes because I don't like it. It's not replicable. So, over here, we have them leaking. There's a leech, so I'm dead. There's a leech in this initial pack. But yeah, I think that that is the only realistic answer to this is to get in here. The only issue is that sometimes there are enemies just sitting in the entrance, which means that it's going to rely on RNG. There's no, like... There's no argument that I have... You know what? Are you only here because of the fact that you pre-aggroed? Is that why you're there in the first place? Do you spawn in a different location and you're moving there? I think they might be spawning somewhere else and then moving there. Shit! Shit! Oh, I fucked myself. I botched the entry, so all of the enemies were progressing in. Who is going to be in front of the door? It does look like it was only in front of the door because it was pre-aggroed in a way that it wasn't supposed to be. So I do have that advantage. So they definitely can hit me from the other side of that island. So that was a pretty fair number of enemies leaking there. I believe the previous time we had established
What lies ahead?
that some of them are probably going to leak. Oh, there's a boss right here. Oh, you're swift. I'm not sure if we can make this pathing work. I also think the last time I did do a pathing that went the other direction. Not this way. I didn't check on the map whether that was in play already or if that was...
I'll say this.
My guess would be that that's not going to work super hot for me.
Come on, let's go in.
So there's a couple options here. One is to see if this will work if I stand in the exact middle somewhere, but I don't think it's going to.
What lies ahead?
It's my presumption that this will inevitably go bad. We have at least a few of them on me right now, I think. But I could be wrong. It might be just this one Gog. And then this other Gog. How many attacks do I take in a row? I think it's just the one hitting me. Okay, that might work. That is a strategy that could work. If I go to here in the middle, then they can lock... I went too far forward, I think. If I go straight to the front, they can get... I can lock them in on both sides instead of just one.
That wasn't so bad.
But we're now taking hits from too many. We're going to get blown up there. The other issue is that we don't have... I don't have protection from fire cast, do I? I don't have fire resistance casts. I have air resistance for some reason? Do you have fire resistance? You do. You can actually just cast fire resistance. Okay. I don't even need to change anything to do that. Okay, so that's actually a pretty big deal. The problem I've been running into is getting, like, burned down
I can't identify them.
before... Okay. Do I want to try for a strat with this? Would I prefer to try... I do kind of prefer to do this setup.
I don't know.
I think these were spawned here. I don't think that those moved into that position. I could be wrong, but there were multiple
Come on, let's
reloads
go
in
in.
between. Why did I just stay here? That was very silly of me. I'm just like deer in headlights.
Looks like
The other thing
this
that I
one's
could
alright.
try to do. There's only the one there.
What shall I do?
I could try to just jump into one of these rooms and fight whatever's in there. The issue is that because I'm so weak relative to the enemies here, if
Looks like this one's alright.
in most
But a scratch.
spawn conditions, whatever's in there is just going to kill me. And potentially in all spawn conditions. I might not be able to handle literally anything that can spawn there.
What
So
lies ahead?
we might be in a bad position here, actually. The explosions are a problem.
It's a little dark in here. Ow!
The lack of invis is a problem.
It's like it's a
The fact that if I go to that corner, we aggro golems is a problem.
what
I
lies
could
ahead?
the fact that when we move into the dungeon, even before we see the enemies, they're already aggroed is obviously a problem. Let's see, what level are you? I can't even see. Never mind, you're dead. Let's see.
Come on, let's go in.
It's an enormous park. I'm dead before I even get around the corner. So let me try to think about this. What could I do? Let's see. Air magic. Note. That's definitely not happening. That sure looks like a minotaur. Yep, we're definitely not doing Master Air there. You and Avley? You're an Avley. And we know it's on Mist. We needed to get to Mist earlier in the run if we wanted to do something with this. Let's see here. What can we do to make our lives a little bit easier? Because we need to make our lives actually a lot easier if we're going to be able to handle this effectively. I could hypothetically try to get myself into the book corner that I got into the previous time. So, like, hypothetically, it would be possible for me to get through all of those and
What lies ahead?
into the back room there. This type of a room might work. It's hypothetically possible that those rooms will work.
Come on, let's go in.
Because with those rooms, if there's like a weak enough spawn, we might be okay. But it's actually really difficult to get even to them because of the way that those eyes behave at the beginning.
What lies ahead?
Like the eye opening there, and the fact that we can potentially die before we even reach that initial section. So if we dive around the corner to the right, let's try doing something a little funky
What
here.
lies ahead?
We're gonna do a multi-stage setup here, or we would if not for the fact that there were so many spawn that I just got obliterated. Hey, sweet today, Cthulhu. I'm doing pretty good. You can tell that I'm doing pretty good as I die horribly over and over and over again. Okay, that's, you know, suboptimal. I would like you to not be standing there. Okay, you are keeping it. Yeah, okay, we're gonna reload. Whew. Yeah, things are going good. I think this is gonna be the first really huge stumbling block for this run. The problem is that I don't even know where I would go instead, honestly. If I didn't go to Tularea because Clanker's lab is too hard, like, where am I gonna go that has an easier problem than this, right? Let's see.
Come on, let's go in.
There. We're very happy to do their business. I can't do anything with
This'll be fun.
jump down here. Yeah, there's only like one pack of these. Let's see. There's only one pack of these. I could hypothetically pull all of these
Come on, let's go in.
out.
Ow.
And then once they've been pulled out, go past them and into the room. Wait, I don't even need to go past them. Okay, we have a weird setup here that might work. Probably it's too advanced and complicated to actually realistically have a chance of working because it's going to involve going too far. But basically, setup is this. And there's enemies at the bottom. Damn it. Okay. So the goal there was to basically pull the enemies from that room, out of that room, around the corner, and then once they're around the corner, dig everything into the corner and hope that the corner is good enough to get the job done. So we're going to try that one more time so that I can keep an eye on the actual pathing of the enemy. Ooh, God, I'm doing such a bad job. Ooh, boy. Okay, well, mistakes were made. The real answer to how to deal with this entryway is almost certainly to just, like, fish for good RNG on the opening pack and clear the opening pack. That's probably the, like, most time efficient strategy, is to just do that. I'm not going to do that because I think this is more interesting. And we're going to try to make this work. Because I feel like it could work. It has the feel of a good idea. The other thing is that we do still have, as an option, a strat involving jumping in here. And we could try a left strat there, where we try going to the left. Let's see. Yeah, Dark War is pretty painful in every run, but especially in a very buff-dependent run. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? It would be one thing if there was consistently enemies just spawned in that location.
Come on, let's go in.
But they're not. There's just sometimes a Magog just chilling there for no apparent reason. What can I do to help me
Come on, let's go in.
help me? This corner hypothetically could work well. Unfortunately, we do have the rotations to deal with. That could hypothetically happen. We might that corner might just be the strat, except I think that it's going to be random whether they actually lock themselves in. Wow, that's some terrible RNG on my part. Very sad. Okay.
Looks like this one's all right.
This Magog is just going to solo me, unfortunately. Apparently it didn't. Something else hit me as well. But yeah, I think that the problem that we run into in there is a thing that we're going to run into no matter which side we go in. And it will just come down to which is the easier side to, like, approach. But yeah, we're in a very difficult position here because we don't have Master Air Magic yet. This is very tempting. It's not a great corner in the first place, honestly. So I don't feel super bad about not being able to use that corner.
What lies ahead?
I'm gonna try one of the bedrooms, I think. Well, that's not gonna work. Certainly not consistently. I do think that the only place that I know that works for sure, that I know works, is the bookcase. The bookcase is the one location on the entire map that I'm fairly sure I can lock literally all enemies out of if I'm standing in the correct position. And I was apparently not standing in the correct position there. I don't even know what hit me there, actually. I literally don't know what hit me. Because there shouldn't have been anything that could hit me in there yet. Nothing had, like, rotated to me. But that was a good proof of concept, though. We know that that location is a workable location. I guess the projectiles change might make it no longer viable, but that was really funny. Yes, we're gonna try. I think that's the strat. We're gonna try it. Did I get hit by the blades trap there? I don't even know what hit me there. There's only 2 enemies. I don't know how I took that much damage from just like a couple of shots. Oh, I might have gotten hit from behind. No! Oh, I got in too quickly. It hadn't quite. They have such huge hitboxes. Yeah, I think we're gonna try for that room because I think that room is the one room in the whole dungeon that I feel fairly confident in my ability to use. I really wish that we didn't have a straggler there every time. Just like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm also here and I'm gonna fuck up your shit. Okay, so... But yeah, I think that this is gonna work. It's a lot easier with Invis, obviously. It is also funny that I got into one of those corners at one point, and I feel like I actually might have locked everything into that corner, but there was a leecher involved. I should probably base my decision on which of these 2 places I'm going to go to on the status of these things when I approach here. Because if those things are in an inopportune location, then it makes more sense to try to get into there, probably.
Come on, let's go in.
Yeah, we're basically looking to lock the enemies in to a location where they can't fight back. I have full HP here. Oh shit, this is a bad way to do this. Get that rotated in. Life is sad. What I'm trying to do, we're doing Clanker's Lab, but the issue is that the enemies are so powerful.
Come on, let's go in.
So, like, the normal Goglings are level 98, and this is massively the weakest enemy in the entire dungeon. The Goglings are extremely weak. So we're trying to clear Clanker's lab, but we need to figure out a strategy to basically lock them into a position where they can't fight back, because nothing in this dungeon can really be soloed by us right now. So we've tried a few different locations. We have a bunch of different. Yeah, we're currently level 82. So
What lies ahead?
the strategy right now that we're trying to settle on is basically getting to a place that I've gotten to in the past and had worked. Wow, this is terrible. There's only 3 enemies spawned, and I might have boned myself here. Yep, we've aggroed you, which means that you're going to start attacking me from behind and making my life miserable. And there we go. GG. Alright, well, you know, this was a totally workable opening that I should have actually used, and I didn't use it. Whoops. Only 3 enemies spawned at the opening. What the fuck? Oh boy. Okay. I saw that opening, I was just like, ah. The exact opposite of what we just said.
Come on, let's go in.
But because of the fact that the enemies are aggroing on us from the start, they're becoming aggro before we can even see them, right? Like, you open with both of these packs automatically on your ass. Can I just stand here? This is crazy, right? Yeah, this is just gonna get me killed on both sides. Maybe I go deeper into the... Do I go deeper in the corner or further away from the corner?
What lies ahead?
I don't know. I wish I knew, but I don't. I'm gonna stand right here, and we have way too many enemies on us. We're definitely dying here. Man. So, yeah, these are like 16 levels above us. I was thinking that this dungeon was going to be substantially lower level than us. The fact that the Gogs are that level, but basically, I didn't realize that the trees were so low level compared to everything else. So I was like, okay, the fact that I'm able to handle these trees is a good sign for coming into this dungeon. Because at the very least, the Gogs won't be that crazy. But no, the Gogs are pretty fucking crazy right now. Okay, we might have this now.
I don't know.
We might have this. Which message has to be checked? Do I have to open up Twitch to check my admin tools? Whew. I'll take a look at Twitch after we finish this pack, because I think we've got this now. So jumping over the top, I think, is the strat. Jumping over the top gets them locked in sooner, because you're not going as far away from the dead center, which keeps them locked and prevents them from getting to the places where they can actually fight back. I believe these are in a position where they can't blow up on me. So I think we're golden. Oh, that one's not. Ooh, this one's gonna kill me. On its own. If this hits Sortira a single time, she's almost certainly gonna die to the explosion. She did not get hit a single time, so she didn't die to the explosion. Whew. So we blow up the gold golem. It's not in a position where it can fight us, so it should be out of line of sight right now, which means it shouldn't actually kill us with the explosion. Oh boy, it moved.
I can't identify.
It's bad when they move.
What is it?
Oh, okay. I'm like, I really hope this doesn't explode on me. I don't think it will, but I'm actually not certain on that. Okay, so I think we're in the correct position right now. This certainly implies that we're in the correct position right now.
No match for me.
Okay. We're 16% of the way through. Is now the point where we save? Honestly, I think yes. This is the point where we make the danger save. So we now have the game saved here. We can reload back to here. And we cannot make another save for a while. That's not great. It's a bad position for you to be in. Okay. Nope. Nope. That one's locked in a weird position. This one's locked in a position where it can explode on me at the very least. Oh! I'm probably gonna die here. Okay. Why? Why are you able to hit me from there? You should not be able to hit me from there. Satan's coward. Okay, we're gonna run past. Sortira went down, which means it's GG. Alright, luckily, we have a save. So we're reloading this, and I am gonna go check what's going on with Twitch now. What is it doing? I don't have a moderation thing even showing up on my thing if it's like looking for a chat message to come through. That's weird. I don't know. I don't know. If something got auto-flagged, I don't know why, and I don't know where it is. Alright, let's see if we can survive. Whoop. Let's not see if we can survive anything. Let's just go where we know we should be. That can hit me from where it is. I'm gonna kill this one so that I only have to deal with one. Okay, this one's dead. That one can't shoot me through this. So the hope is... Huh. Yeah, I don't know where that message went. Like it's not even showing up on like I don't know where it would show up on my screen. Right, for like if it's like supposed to be like, oh yeah, this is getting flagged and a moderator should look at it. It's not showing up on my end, which I think is weird. Okay, I don't think this should explode on me because it's not attacking me. So it should be out of line of sight. Okay, we have that one down. These can't explode. So... the hope is that we can just lock them into a corner like this. And then once they're locked into one of these corners... we can beat on them without us killing them. Oh shit, you're like fully inside now, okay. Okay, I think we're chill here. I say that. I'm a little concerned. That projectile is behaving weirdly. But that one's toast. This is we're doing merge, so this is in Might Magic 7. We're in the Might Magic 7 world right now. So the engine is 8, but this dungeon is a 7 dungeon. That's a concerning place for those to be hanging out. I'm not entirely sure if I go around the other side what will happen. Okay, we've aggroed all the ones in the back there. We're going to pile into our safe spot and kind of just wait for them to approach us just to see what happens here. They're getting... and who knows, maybe we can just get them to rotate straight to this corner. If they rotate to this corner... ooh, boy. Yeah, I think the listed game is also... 8, right? Like, it's listed as 8 on Twitch, I believe. In the previous run, I was rotating which game it was based off of which continent I was on. In this one, that's not. In this run, it's not as feasible to do that because I'll be going to multiple continents on every stream. Yeah, I played the Chaos Conspiracy. We're doing Merge Mod plus Maw. So, it's like a hard mod on top of the Merge mod. I really wish that I would remember where the trigger... wait, what? I didn't have Regeneration Cast this entire time, y'all. Does it make a huge difference because I'm basically just getting gibbed instantly, but still. I don't know how this is gonna go. This corner's working well. Those are getting... the ones behind me are scaring the shit out of me, actually. Because they actually... some of those came out of that hallway. Okay, there's a lot more in this pack than I thought there were. I'm a little concerned. I'm not a little concerned, I'm a lot concerned. Yeah, I've been very impressed with the... oh god! You can hit me from there. Can I kill you, though? Not if you keep hitting that fucking... please stop hitting Sortira. Anybody but Sortira is fine. If you hit Sortira again, I'm going to be very upset with you. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. So one of the components of this mod that has been added is that the buffs behave differently. The buffs are toggles now, right? So you just maintain them by having like a certain percentage of your mana bar devoted to maintaining the buff, right? So they're otherwise functionally permanent. However, you need to be conscious to maintain the spell. So, since you have to be conscious to maintain the spell, if preservation goes... If the person who's maintaining preservation goes down, you're vulnerable to being gibbed by that. Where basically, like, okay, the person with preservation goes down, and that means the preservation goes down, which means that you die. So that's why I care so much about Sortira specifically going down, rather than being more generically concerned about people going down. Because if Sortira goes down, we run the risk of having an actual death, which, because of the rules of the run, is something that we have to reload for. And because we can't save until we get into the green, or until this gets to about 60 to 67, or 65 to 67%, when we can leave the dungeon without them respawning. Oh, okay, that scared me. Okay. So this one is going to stay where it is, I think. Oh, nice. We actually managed to move it by just hitting it once. So now we can get it into a nicer position. With it in a nicer position like this, we can clear it out. We're at 38%. We're not going to get into the green in this dungeon at all, I don't think. We're going to check this spot. See if this works. For some reason, we can't put it down. Oh shit, we're getting tagged. We're getting tagged around the corner because we're too close to the actual wall. I could have easily died there. I wasn't paying close enough attention. Can I hit you from here? I can hit you from here. Okay. There are a couple here. But yeah. I don't think there's any shot that we're getting into the green anywhere in this dungeon at any point. That's just not a viable thing to have happen. If one of these floating eyes kills a Gog that I can't see right now, that's like off screen, I'm not gonna reload for it. We normally would. This is, we can't allow anything to steal our EXP, obviously. But in the specific context that we're in right now, I'm not reloading for that. I can't remember the first time I played my Magic 6. The first time I played my Magic 6 was... like, what, 20-some years ago? I do not remember... I don't remember my childhood in that much detail. When did 6 come out? Because I don't know that I was young enough that I would be scared by skeletons. I think that I would have just found them cool. Because I think I was probably like 15 or something when it came out. Like if it came out in '98, then I'd be 13. But I feel like it came out later than that. Did it though? I actually don't know that for sure. Okay. We have to be concerned about this wall. Oh! Fuck me! That was a problem. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like, I think as a teenager I probably just thought it was super cool. More than anything else. Either that or I was just... Oh, fuck me. Oh, you've got to be kidding. You took down the person who brings me out? Oh, you've got to be... I'm gonna die because I can't jump over this. Are you fucking... Whoa! We're out! We out, baby! Okay. I think that I'm probably doomed anyway, because I think they're just gonna walk by me here. Oh, shit. Okay, they are here. If I hit them, though, they're gonna blow me up, so... We're basically just gonna stand right in this location. We are going to wait. Hands up. We're fine. We are waiting. We are waiting. We are continuing to wait. We are just standing right here. At some point, Olrin's going to get up. Once Olrin gets up, we will know what the lay of the land is. I could hypothetically cast a Shared Life. I'm going to cast a Shared Life. Okay. This is a single Gog, I think. I think the Magog is still back there. That was not in line of sight. And because we had that issue, we have the opportunity to clear out these. I was concerned that they'd be able to see me from this angle, and I was concerned that I'd get gibbed running by them, which is why I hadn't already tried to clear these out. But because I had to do that panic run by them in the first place, and by had to, I mean because I panicked and ran by them, that was not... that worked, but it was not necessarily the best way to approach that situation. We were stacking risks upon risks at that point. Okay. Okay, we've aggroed something else. We've aggroed something from downstairs. We're getting out. I'm probably boned. This brass golem's gonna kill me, I think. There's more than one! Why is there more than one of you? I'm fucked. Ooh, I'm fully fucked. You're not aggroed yet. You know, I shouldn't have tried to do what I just did there, but that's okay. You are not going to do what I need you to do. So I am almost certainly going to die here. What do I do? We have this on this side. I need to basically be standing either here to be able to hit this one. I could try rotating left and seeing if it maintains its current posture. I don't think it will.
It's too dangerous to camp here.
Okay, that one's attacking me, huh? It's still attacking me.
I don't know.
Sortira's at full HP, so if this explodes on me, I might not die.
I don't know.
I'll save us.
We're at 52%. We're at 52%. We have a brass golem right next to us. As long as we don't acknowledge the Magog that's behind us, we're fine. The Magog behind us, as long as we don't acknowledge its existence, it can't hurt us. What you cannot see cannot hurt you. This is fully factual information. If you close your eyes, you're fine. It's the most powerful strat. We're at full HP on Sortira. We're at mostly full HP with everyone else. I think we're fine to take this thing out. And once we've cleared out this thing, we can... deal with the Magog here. With Magog down, because I think that this is not going to explode on us. It doesn't matter, we're at full HP anyway. With this down, we'll have a good portion of the entryway cleared out. Okay, we got a wand. Oh shit, hello. I was wondering why I didn't see whatever was there. It's like, I don't think I killed whatever it was that was over there. Okay, there's presumably more down there. But I can't aggro them right this moment. I could loot those. I'm not going to loot those yet, I don't think. I'm going to pull these. Because of the enemies that I'm dealing with right now, I think that these are the safest to try to fight. Because I know how to lock them in here without needing to deal with the trap rooms. I know what's in here. Already. Right? Like, I'm not concerned about, like, oh, what if, you know, something else shows up. The one concern... Oh, fuck me. Oh, I'm moving too slow. The one concern that I have is that I'm going to get a leech, but I don't think there's a leech, or I would have noticed by now. This is venomous. Oh, God. So, I'm not sure how I'm going to hit you. Without you getting an angle on me. I don't think this is going to explode on me, because it doesn't... It has a ranged attack, and it's not using it. If it has a ranged attack and it's not using it on me at all, it is presumably unable to. Because if this explodes on me, I die. Instantaneously. There's no way that I'm surviving a gold golem explosion. So the fact that we have this in an untested location is very spooky.
I've never seen one before. What is it?
I'm so spooked right now. But yeah, in theory, I'm correct. It has not tried to attack me. It should not be in line of sight. It was not in line of sight. Okay. So, we're grabbing the next one. We are hopefully going to pull it more... We're going to grab a different one instead of the one that I had intended to pull, and that's fine. Wait here... Perfect. It's just going to nicely slot itself exactly where it's supposed to. Very kind of you to play nice with me. We're at 60%. We should only need to kill about 5 more enemies to be able to leave, and basically we'll have unlimited saves at that point. That is another gold golem. So we have another top tier. If this explodes on me, I do die. So it does need to be fully locked. It cannot be put in some mostly appropriate location. It needs to be fully locked in to a position. It got fully locked in, and then I moved. Okay. It cannot hit me from here, I think. So we should be golden here. 60%. We should be at 61% or possibly 62% after this. We're at 62. Perfect. Okay. Now, we have a thinger over there that's going to cause problems for me. We have probably more in here. There is an entire other pack in the back that is going to cause me no problems at all. It is in fact going to give me no issues. It's just going to give me the ability to save. So, in theory, off the back of this pack, I should be able to save. So once I've gotten this pack cleared, we leave the dungeon, we save the game, we're golden. We're fully golden once we can do that. I have so many notifications coming in on this one. I should turn off the buzzing, because I think the buzzing is probably going to make that way louder than it needs to be. Okay, we're at 63%. We need to immediately rotate back in, because we actually unlocked those things. When we did that, that is in a bad position. It's in a very bad position. I think that one's attacking me with ranged attacks, which can't hit because they're big blocked. So we can't kill it from here. It's in a bad position for killing it, but it can't kill me. So okay, I think from here we're safe. Also from here, this is a brass golem. This is the weakest. Monsters are weakened and can no longer resurrect. So we have this one that we haven't finished pulling. It doesn't matter. We are leaving right now, because if that one gets into a bad position, I'm completely boned. So we go out, we save this under dungeon. We now have a dungeon save, and Clanker's Lab is settled. This is a dungeon that, once you've got the initial entry completed, you should be fine. You can hit me from around the corner because you're not a ranged attack. What am I doing? That was a very difficult setup. Like, even knowing the setup, it's not easy. And because the setup isn't a perfect one, and there's going to be things like there are going to be leaks. It's a rough setup to like even enact on, because you then need to change the plan after you have started, you know? So that worked pretty well. We now have access to all of these. There's so many chests here. Do we want to loot the chests now? I think we do. I'm going to go out and save again, because we've now killed that one enemy. We're going to go out, we're going to save, and then we're going to check the chests. So we potentially are going to get some really crazy shit in here that we won't be able to use for a long time. I think this is the highest level dungeon that we've done so far. So
Let's leave it behind. Ooh, this is nice. We don't need this.
okay. These are all things that you want to hear. Is, you know, oh yeah, you know, we don't need this. We should leave this behind. Okay.
Ooh, we don't need
Chain,
this.
petition for magic.
This is nice.
Unarmed and fire resistance
Let's leave it
of the
behind.
eclipse. Vampiric weapon we can't actually use.
Ooh, my pack's full.
The only person who gets access to the spell does not learn it from spell books.
Ooh, This is nice. We don't need this. Let's leave it behind.
That's a War Spear of Venom. I don't even recognize this item type. Okay.
Ooh, we don't need this.
Sorry.
My pack's full. Ah, it's
Summon
useless.
Wisp. We will eventually learn that.
Nice.
Immunity, Death and Eradication immunity gauntlets. That's a big deal.
Useless.
That's something that we desperately need to have on everybody eventually. Okay. We've cleared through half the side chests and the mid chests. Disease and Curse immunity.
We could sell it. It's worthless. Now here's something.
Consciousness.
Very weak. Huh. Powerful this is.
Let's leave it behind. We don't need this.
Nothing of extreme interest here.
This is perfect.
It's terrible.
My pack's
There's,
full.
there's no
It
room.
won't fit.
This is nice.
Okay, we have a helm.
Powerful this is. Powerful this is. Powerful this is. Huh. Huh.
Nothing too interesting
is
there
nice.
so far.
There's powerful
There's
this
no
I
is.
can't carry anymore.
We're gonna clear through this whole area without getting. This is a fairly significant vitality boost.
This is nice.
So we got the Governor's armor. That is
Junk.
suboptimal, considering we already have a
We could sell
legendary
it. Now here's something.
chain
It's
in
worthless.
play.
It's worthless. There's no room
My
left.
And we only have one character who uses chain, but on the plus side, we at least have a character who, in theory, could have used it if we had gotten here earlier. Okay, we're gonna pop out. We're gonna save again. So nothing too exciting there. We do have a spear that is a minor upgrade in some capacities and a downgrade in others. We are going to lose out on the doubled lifesteal. So I think that I'm going to hold on to the one that I've got for right now. Though 14% vitality is quite a bit. Okay. Who's here? Okay, we're going to drag these to here. This will allow us to hopefully... okay, can I handle you? Yep. They lock themselves in a weird location. We're fine. So we can clear this pack without any issues. They basically locked themselves in already. So... I think we are golden. We have the room that we need to handle the rest of the dungeon. You've unlocked, which is interesting. No, you haven't unlocked. That's a Gog getting attacked by this thing that is locked. Okay. The Gog is actually completely ignoring the thing that's attacking him, which is pretty funny. Okay. Certainly a thing you could do. If I get killed from behind because the other one walks in the room, it's going to be very funny. Because there's another one right here. I can't move my cursor off of the enemy. Okay. So, that one's toast. Ulrin's back up. And that is a Magog that's, I think, locked on the chest. Oh, we have more. I'm going to just walk back over here. We're going to deal with the two Gogs, or Goglings, I guess. deal with 2 Goglings here. Once we've cleared out these 2, I think we're actually going to go save. Yeah, we should go save. So we're going to save. Now that we've taken out the bulk of this room. And that will also unlock that one from its current position. Oh, that's a good question. We're currently eligible for 83. I don't remember how far away we were when we started. So we've gotten, you know, pretty decent EXP for a dungeon that, you know, we don't have any quests for, you know? But, you know, I don't think it has line of sight on us. I don't think it can hit us. And it did immediately lock itself onto this chest again. So, okay, perfect. How many are in here? 2 Gogs. Can I fight? I can't fight you if Sortier is injured. It really sucks when they shoot me through it. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, Sortier's not quite at full HP, but if we kill this before she gets hit again, then we might survive. We survived. Can I hit you through the wall so that I can continue to fight? Doesn't look like it. We're gonna have to drag this back to the other room anyway. So, life is sad. How low are you? Pretty low! Do we pop out of here and get to the right location? I think we do. Oh wait. It can't hit us from here. So we should be able to burn this down right here. Nailed it. Okay. Can go ahead and cure that disease.
This is
We
nice.
have another whole set of chests to go through. This is a very densely populated dungeon, both in terms of the enemies and in terms of loot. There's just so much loot here.
Ooh, we don't
So,
need this. Let's leave it behind.
okay.
This is nice. Ooh,
Pretty
let's leave it
nice.
behind.
Okay.
Let's leave it behind.
So, my hope is that we'll get at least one legendary in here. But I don't know how likely that is at this point.
We don't need this. Ooh, let's leave it behind. Ooh, we don't need this. I can't.
And hopefully
carry
it's something that we can actually make use of as well. But I think that the probability that we find a legendary that I'm
We don't need
actually
this.
going to
Let's
make
leave it
use of
behind.
in this dungeon
Ooh,
is probably fairly low at this point, considering
ooh, this is nice.
considering that we've eaten through a good portion of the loot that is available in this dungeon already.
Worthless. It's worthless. We could sell it.
So I'm thinking
Let's leave it behind. My pack's full.
we have pretty low odds there. Okay, we're gonna jump across again. Glad those don't home in on me now. We are going to exit out. We're going to save the game, and then we're going to start working on the next thing there. So we're currently at 20,000. Let's take a look at the test save. So We gained quite a bit in there. I think we're probably going to have picked up... Oh, actually, I think that the two things are pretty much identical, right? So I can just load the dungeon thing. I can see exactly what percentage of a level we've got. So, Might Magic 6, I think, was just slightly... Oh, wait, we're still behind here. So I was wrong on that. Was everything about a level ahead? So yeah, we're still, interestingly enough, not at the point where we need to leave here. This is still the place that has the lowest level. Kind of wild. Whew. But it will be going to my Magic 6 after this, I think. So. There's no way that we're not going to get enough to be leaving. Yeah, everything's at about the same level right now. Can I just hit you over the bookcase? Yes. Can I hit you from here? No. Can I jump on top of the bookcase? I can, it's not a good idea. You start moving if I go to here. Okay, I can hit it from here without jumping. So I think this is the strat. Never mind! Holy shit! Are we too far away or something? Yeah, the fact that I just got a Steam message is something I need to look at my phone. Let's see. One of the nice things is that nobody ever contacts me on Steam. Unless it's my wife trying to get a hold of me when she fails to get a hold of me on WhatsApp. Let's see. Okay. Is that everybody in this room? It's everybody in this room.
I can't learn that
It's
spell.
of no use to me.
Dispel magic.
I can't learn
Everybody knows Featherfall. Everybody knows that Featherfall. Why do I never ever cast? Okay, and since we did have a bit of difficulty with that, it's tempting. Oh boy, that is quite the pull. Okay, so hopefully y'all play nice. Play nice. Okay, that one's toast. Is bronze or... Brass is the weakest, bronze is the mid, I think. Okay, so as long as we can pull these two here, I think we should be pretty much golden here. And I could, if I wanted, go save, but I'm not going to, because I like to live dangerously. You know what? I'm going to go save, because that one is being a pain in the ass and doesn't want to come out. So we're going to go save. Our party is weak. Why did I do that? Because I was thinking about casting this instead. It is very funny the way that like they look, because it's like they're trying to show more teeth. It looks like their skull has come up as if the skull itself is like the lips. It's a very funny animation, or not animation. It's a very funny picture. You're out. Perfect. There's so many in this pack. Jeez. So we're just gonna stand right here, and there's only one. So even if it this is the mid-tier, I think. Even if it does leak, we can just basically rotate around and deal with it that way. So, because of the fact that they're trying to get in through a route that they can't use, we're pretty much golden. Okay, we're gonna aggro these. I need to use jump to do this. Because they're right on my ass. I can't take the corner route. And there we go. Okay. We're almost done. Oh. We're almost done, I say as I'm like taking my hand completely off the keyboard for a drink. Run into the wall. Okay. Now we will return to looking at where we're going. So how many do we still have? Several at least. Okay, we still have at least 2. It's almost certainly exactly 2, but I have been fooled in the past.
Haven't seen this one.
Nope. Okay, that one's toast. This one should be better locked. Let's see. I think everything is basically everything's basically the same, except certain classes have equivalent classes in the games that they're not in. So as an example, like in the games that don't have trolls, knight promotions promote trolls. And there are additional tiers of promotion on top of the initial tiers. So the whatchamacallit? Basically, once you have the first 2 promotions done, when you fully finish another promotion chain, so like it would get you another thing, you basically get an additional like +1 HP and +1 SP per level. Like your growth rate goes up. Let's see. Sorry. I'm making plans for lunch after stream. Okay. Yeah, merge is pretty cool. Okay, those are going to try to hit me from where they are. And that thing is now going to get into a big fight. And I want to... I don't know if this has line of sight on me from here. It probably does. It's probably going to kill me when I do this. But we're doing it anyway. I don't know who this evil one is even hitting. Yeah, the issue with these golems in here is because of their weird, because of their weird positioning, they get like fully locked into position there. There's one that isn't automatically in there. I'm going to try to pull this one to the normal location. And then with this one in the normal location, I can go save, and now we only have 2 to deal with, and I think they're both in the same location. So rather than having 3 of them in the room, we'll have 2 of them in the room, and we can try to figure out a strategy to kill the 2 of them without dying instantly. It might just entail putting a little bit more HP gear onto Sortira, honestly. Like, I don't know how I would block line of sight. I don't know. Let's see. The other thing, I'm going to try jumping into the room, maybe, so that I don't aggro the other thing. I'd like to basically clear out the golems first. Fuck. I think this is doable. I just need to jump up onto that and not immediately fall off of it. I think basically the entire ground in there is going to open it up. But if I don't stand on the ground, I should be fine. They have line of sight issues. They can hit me from there. I'm gonna see if I can just get to here. They can both hit me from here. That's a no.
Rest here. It's too unsafe to rest.
Shit.
We should rest.
My controller's going out. Oh shit, there's something behind me.
I'll save us.
Okay. We're trying. I was thinking that I was getting blocked by only one thing, but I was getting blocked by multiple different things there. Okay, so we're gonna try. From this position, we're safe. We go down here, we're no longer safe. We go up here. You're not safe. Here. They have line of sight on us from here. So... line of sight in this room is crazy. Hit me from here. I don't think I can get them to move. I think they are, like, fully locked into this position, so I don't think I can get them to move at all. So it might come down to needing... to clear this thing out.
I don't know it.
I'm just gonna start hitting it. Okay, we're golden. So we took that one out, and since we've got that taken out, I think I'm gonna go outside and save under danger. We got the actual kill, so we can pop out of the Clanker's lab. We can save this under danger instead of dungeon, just in case we've put ourselves in an unwinnable scenario. I don't see how we could have, because the problem is going to be the explosions more than anything else. So... Oh, Jesus! Is the reason that they wouldn't move because of the... Oh, okay. So the reason that they do that is because they see they're trying to approach the evil eye to get access to it, and they lock themselves in that corner as a result of that. So with the evil eye dead, they don't go into that corner, and I can just pull them wherever I want in the whole dungeon. We're golden. We don't have to find a solution to how to deal with them. I was thinking we might have to like jump into the position that the evil eye starts in, thinking maybe they won't have line of sight to there, and we can just use that. But we don't need to. We golden. So, speaking of golden, we have just taken out a gold golem. And we've picked up a nice alchemy boosting item, which is going to be convenient as well. Okay. Anything else that we need to do in here? I don't think so. At some point I might come back in here to pick up alchemy reagents, but right now I don't have high enough skill for it to really make any sense to do so. So, it's all good. Alright, we're going to go ahead and say... Can I take the shield down now? No. I'm not going to worry about it then. So we pop out of Clanker's lab, and there we go. So we're now eligible for 84 on everybody. So we gained... about a little over a full level's worth of experience, right? Gained quite a bit of experience. Oh wait, no, because we had another 20k to go on these two. So the fact that they gained 2 levels, it's substantially more than that. So nice. We got quite a bit of EXP in there. Not too shabby. We did not pick up a legendary, which is unfortunate. And we are ready to go back to Might Magic 6. So we're getting pretty close to being able to promote our two knights, the monk and the death knight. This is pretty exciting. We've cleared out the hard part of this area. I was actually really concerned that I was going to get fully bricked by that, where it's like, okay, there's a brick wall here. I don't know how I'm even going to pass it. So I'm incredibly pleased that we managed to get through that. I wasn't sure we could. With that brick wall cleared, we have another brick wall in Murmur Woods that we're going to have to do the second that we go to Murmur Woods. And that is going to be before we get the promotion for Komanatin and the other person. Because we're going to be going to clear one more little dungeon. And that dungeon is going to give us probably just barely enough experience to surpass what we have in Might and Magic 8. So, I think that's going to be pretty funny. So, what else is on our agenda for right now? Just getting to 6, I guess. Okay, save the game. I'm actually going to save this as post-Clanker. I am honestly a little surprised we made it happen. I'm a little bit surprised.
Need a ride? Hitch up the horses.
There was a point there where it was like, this might be the first part where we have to actually break the rules, because we were just getting wrecked so hard and we did not have invis. Like, if you have invis to set things up with, it changes the dynamic hugely, right? Like, there's a big difference in what you can do with and without invis.
Well done.
As you approach a new... This is Sunday. Do we want to try to do the arena? We are. We're going to try to do the arena. We need to grab food. So we're going to grab food. We're going to try out the night level arena again.
Coming right up.
And my guess is that we probably won't be able to do it if for no other reason than just the insanity is going to prevent us from healing more than a little tiny bit.
Need a ride?
But we'll find out. How many arena wins do we have? We have only one. I thought we had two, but we only have one night arena win, which is unfortunate. What are we doing here? We have a couple of Magyar. Magyar are, I think, fairly dangerous, but they are pretty low level Magyar. What level are you? You're 65. Ooh, we might be in okay shape here. I don't know what the strong enemies are. Maybe you? No, you're pretty weak too. What about you? You're level 70. I don't know that there's anything in here that's gonna just fully obliterate us. We might be okay. Because the Magyar soldiers are dangerous, but not, like, completely out of control. This thing is dangerous, but not, like, the end of the world. We might be okay here. Okay, we've got this. So this was easy. Oh, there's loot in the arena? Ho, ho, ho. Okay, well, we got a two-handed sword. We can collect our prize, we get 16. I didn't even have regen active. Wow. Disrespectful. Disrespectful. Okay, so yeah, we should definitely come back and do the arena. Oh, shit. Okay. We're still the lowest in my magic. I was like, wait a second, we did just kill some enemies and we were pretty fucking close. But no, it's not enough to make up the difference. And we're at 84. We need 92 to equip our legendary. That's mist, which would be really nice to do, but we're not doing mist. As much as I want Master Air, we're not doing Master Air yet. Master Air is probably going to be... something that we have to go to Mist to get that, I think. So I don't think we're getting it somewhere else. So we're gonna need to get to Mist sometime in the near future, but I want my promotions done first. So I say in the near future, and I'm lying. It's not going to be any time in the near future because the near future is finishing Bootleg Bay. And then doing Free Haven, and then the not so near future is doing Silver Cove to finish up those promotions. So good luck. So we're not going to have access to invisibility for most of the run, and I think that that's appropriate. I think that it makes sense to prioritize getting my party in a powerful enough position that I don't need to use shenanigans like invisibility, as opposed to getting myself invisibility and being able to do more shenanigans. Of the two of those, I feel like one of those is the more appropriate option in terms of prioritizing the routing. And I should absolutely, because these are going to be probably leaking, I should be clearing as many of these as I can. They're not super strong. Like, they're not super high level enemies. So, yeah, we're usually dealing with these enemies pretty early in the run. And they're strong for when you run into them, but they're not that crazy. And let's see here. Yeah, these are, the mid-tiers are 68, which is not nothing, but... it's also not that crazy. Okay, we do need to deal with the ones that have leaked, particularly the Great Druids. We've got 62% already, so we can actually get this to the point where they're no longer able to resurrect before we clear the initial pack. Because this dungeon is basically just this pack. Okay. So once we finish here, we do have a Great Druid, or I guess a Grand Druid? Oh shit! That's an issue. If that thing hits me with a fireball around this corner, I'm in deep shit. Sortira is very low. We have Water Walking active. No wonder! I was wondering why my healing was so good. Okay, we got the Grounder. Whoa! There's more enemies here. There we go. We didn't even have regeneration cast. Disrespectful. I'm telling you. This guy. Alright, we're gonna go save, because we can. So just walk out the front door. Do we even need to? Yes. So we're gonna walk out the front door, we're gonna save the game. And walk back in. And open you up. Well, probably we have the one random monk here. We have that.
Let's leave it behind. We don't need this.
Just...
Oh, I didn't even realize I could open it this way. Alright, we have a very dangerous enemy in play here. But we also have corners. So, unfortunately this does have an instant death proc, so I really can't test my strength against it meaningfully. Honestly, that did not. You're only level 97? Interesting. Oh, we need to roll. And, that is a 3. That is Severia. So, Severia's getting every single one of these because I am lazy. Okay, so with bags.
We don't need this.
And chest.
Let's leave it behind. We don't need this. My pack's full.
Well, we have a Mace of Darkness.
I can't carry anymore.
Man, we should be keeping count of how many times I find an item that I'm not really using. Like an item type that I'm not using of darkness.
We don't need this. We don't need this. Let's leave it behind. We don't need this.
It's happened a few times now. I could equip that. I don't have mastery or anything, so I could equip it if it's actually going to be an upgrade.
We don't need this.
Without having to deal with the other. Yeah, that's just a normal Minotaur King. Lurch is in a different dungeon.
I can't. My pack's
There's no
full.
room. There's no room left.
My pack's full. We don't need this.
That is a one-handed axe of darkness.
My pack's full.
Okay, we're approaching
However,
what I
this is very
want.
weak.
We're getting
Let's
closer
leave it behind.
to something in
This is
there.
nice. This is nice. We don't need this. We don't need this. Let's leave it behind. Let's leave it behind.
Let's jump spell.
Ooh. Let's leave it behind.
Belt of the Gods. Okay. So, we've looted all of the gear in here pretty much. Nothing of particular note, unfortunately. And how are we doing on EXP? Just barely above the... Yep, we're just barely above the threshold. So we have to go back to Might and Magic 8 and deal with one of the hardest dungeons because of a... What is this? 0.08... Yes, a 0.08 difference in EXP value. Life is sad sometimes. That's just how it be. That's just how it be sometimes. So we're going to pop over to Might and Magic 8. And we're going to start attempts on this dungeon. I don't think we're going to finish this dungeon today. This dungeon is massively going to be more difficult than the ones that we've had approached so far. Like, it's possible that this is going to go okay. I think the odds of that are very low. I think that this is going to go very badly for me. But one thing that's good, if this dungeon does go well for us, if we manage to clear through this dungeon, that'll be really clutch. The other thing that we're going to do, we're going to do this now, because we're in a good town that I like. Iron Fist has a bunch of stuff that we can actually use. So I think what we want to do right now is do our inventory management, because this is going to be a brick wall of a dungeon. Garrick's Forge is tough. Or not Garrick's Forge. Garrick's Forge is also tough. But Clanker's Lab is tough.
Finest weapons in the land.
But I already came into it having a pretty good idea of how I was going to handle the dungeon, with or without Invis, right? Like, Invis is a big difference in being able to, act on what I would want to do there. But, like, it's not that crazy. I just realized that my armor isn't that impressive. It's just high tier. That's good to know. So you have, I think, a maxed out tier.
Who needs it?
That. Okay. So this is armor? Where's the armor? Is here?
Finest armor in the land. Come back.
So, I have a sword here. This is 155 hit points and $25. That's actually a really solid helmet. Air and fire we don't need. We are going to equip this. This is a fairly large upgrade.
I can't carry anything.
You have a legendary helmet. And I need to probably upgrade this to make this... to bring this up to date. That's going to be one of the things that I need to do as part of my inventory management. Okay. Useless. 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 Not useless. This is...
I can't carry
We've established that this is not going to be equipped on you. This is not going to get equipped on you.
Finest armor in the land.
Don't let the numbers fool you. We already have the best in slot equipped. Okay.
Come back.
do like that a lot, actually. This gives me a really big durability increase. I think I'm going to take it. I need her durability to be through the roof for what we're about to deal with. So I'm taking it. And because this is okay, but not like anything that crazy. Yeah, the store owner's just cursing you out for just browsing. Like, rotten hell, you penny pinching miser. Direct quote. Like, they are so aggro.
Finest weapons in the land.
Yeah, merchants do not mess around in the Might and Magic universe. You walk into a building accidentally, they will flat out murder your ass.
Come again. There's no room.
Okay, so we are going to inventory 3. No, we can't sell this. This has earth resistance on it. We're holding on to it for right this moment. Just in case. This is a thing that has earth resistance, but it's not armor or anything. I'm holding on to that for right this moment. Okay. I don't think I need this. Yeah, we don't need this. Okay. I guess I
Sorry.
didn't check everybody, but
There's no room left.
don't need it. Alright, this is of the Phoenix. Can't
There's no
even
room.
be upgraded, so no reason to hold on to that.
Finest weapons in the land. Come again.
Alright. Armor. No need. I don't think I need this many sleep and consciousness immunity pieces. I don't need like pieces that are like literally
Finest
chess
armor
pieces
in the
anymore.
land.
That's excessive. Okay. No. 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 I will hold on to this for right this moment. Get rid of you. Disease and curse on leather? No. 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 That's a lot of earth resist.
I can't fit anymore.
Oh, this is just a slight upgrade for you. We are going to deal with a lot of earth damage where we're going, so getting 150 earth resistance on this character is going to be a lot. That's a big deal.
Finest armor in the land.
There's a ton of earth damage coming out, so it's going to be a big deal
Come back.
to mitigate a bunch of it, especially since a lot of it's AoE. This is death and eradication immunity on a really good gauntlet. Do we want to just equip this over this? Yes. So we're just equipping this. This one probably doesn't. Yep, okay, we're doing it. Fuck. We do have. This would be a 33% DPS increase over what we've got. Just because
We could
what
sell
we've
it.
got is so bad. Alright, I'm gonna try to get my spear in play. I think that's my goal for right now. Do I need to hold on to this? It's probably a little better. Nah, it's got low enough. It's got low enough damage compared to this that I'm probably better off just holding on to this. Even, like the mitigation boost is only against Earth, so it's not like generically useful on that front, but it's got a pretty sizable DPS increase, which for a weapon is kind of the biggest deal. Kind of important, you know, just a little bit.
Finest
Just a
armor
bit.
in the land.
Okay.
Come back.
Saving this under danger. This. Don't need this. It's an unarmed ring. I like an unarmed ring. Okay, we're not quite at the point where we can equip this. It's so funny that we still can't equip this. Where did we find this? Did we find this in, like, Arathia Castle? How long ago did we find this leather? We have nothing else that is this high a required level on it. Nothing. This is just such an insane item. Look at these stats, dude. Like, it's got 95 speed twice. Like, it's so good. Such a great item. Okay. Don't need to worry about you. Let's see. We can get you. Get rid of you. You're not important. Alright. Weapon. Hold on to the Mace of Dark. Do we have multiple of Darkness maces on me right now? We do. I mean, to be fair, we have found some of Darkness stuff that we actually need. We found a vampiric thing here, which we need. Let's see.
But sorry.
This is probably weaker. It's weaker.
We could sell it.
I don't need you. Don't
I
need
can't fit anymore.
I'm tempted to start holding on to
Finest
all of
weapons in
the.
the land. Come on.
All the vampiric weapons, just to like get an idea of how many we have of each type. But if we do that, then we don't get to like
Nice.
just bathe in our confirmation bias and pretend that we haven't found anything that we need and that we've just gotten so unlucky. Like, if we actually have the numbers in front of us, then how are we gonna just like go, oh, well, you know, I'm pretty sure that I've only ever found anything that's, you know, not what I need. I haven't found anything
Finest
useful.
weapons in the land.
You know, and that would be deeply unfortunate if we were limited to reality in terms of our thinger.
Finest armor in the land.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Oh, no, I just sold.
Come back.
Oh shit! What did I do? Oh, is T sorting all of your inventories? God damn it! Is that what I did? No. Where did this shit come from? Because I accidentally hit T. This sorts all inventories. What's the difference between that and the Giga sort? Okay, that's a nightmare. Oof. Oh man, mistakes were made. Okay, so we have Minotaur Campaign Polax Poison. We have Trident. We can get rid of those two. We can also get rid of this
Finest
armor.
armor in the land.
Unarmed is good, but no. No. And this is... No. We are holding on to this because of the earth resistance. For now. Might, luck, and legend.
Come back.
There's no room.
Do we need you? No. No. Okay. Sell you. Do we want to just do a Giga Sword?
Finest
Now that I've
weapons in the
accidentally
land.
fucked up all these inventories anyway. Let's go to the magician and sell all of those scrolls. Is this the magician?
See anything you like?
Oh, you're an alchemist. Okay. You are... we still have another 8 levels to go. We're a ways away from being able to use our really crazy stuff. Oh, I didn't sell the things there. Whoops.
Come back soon.
So, we're going back over here.
See anything you like?
We can sell our wands. I feel like pretty comfortable about that. Sell the wand here. Any wands? Any wands? Wand.
Ah, it's useless.
Jump. Okay.
We don't need this.
We have quite a lot of stuff that we haven't identified yet.
Let's leave it behind. Let's leave it behind.
There is quite a bit of stuff that could be sold to this type of person. There we go. Fire, mind, and all resists is not terrible. It's probably not going to get equipped. I don't need vampiric weapon because we can't learn that with anybody. I think torchlight can't be learned by anybody new. We already got that on the 2 people who can learn it. Air resist. Okay.
It's worthless.
Club. Earth resistance of 12. So this is our legendary. I'm gonna need to make this thing work. That's just a thing that needs to happen. 21 is not terrible, but I'm not gonna worry about it for right now. Clanker's Amulet. Okay. We're going through doing a cursory examination of everything. And yes, so in order to make this work, we want to have our best foot forward. We have a lot of materials available for crafting with, and I think that it makes sense to try to get this item in play. I believe I can tinker with the RNG on this by using crafting cubes to change its level before I increase the stats on it. Drain hit points from the target and increase weapon speed. I'm so happy that we made that work. This requires level 86 to win. No, I can't do that. That's not an available strategy. I can't do that twice. If I do that twice, I can't equip it anymore. I can't do that if I intend to equip this for this round. I don't have any quests to turn in, right? I shouldn't, because if I did, then I should have turned them in already. Statuettes, paintings, damsel in distress. Oh yeah, the crafting system is fun. All right, here's the question. We got this to do what we wanted it to do, right? Do we? You know what? I'm going to save this. This is going to be usable in 2 levels. We're not going to worry about it. This is just how it's going to be. We're saving this under test. This is usable in 2 levels. In 2 levels, we will worry about it. So for now, we keep using what we have probably because we can't equip this. But in 2 levels, we're going to pimp this out, upgrade it, do crazy things. That's probably going to be after this next dungeon that we clear. But what that also means is that I have the ability to look at my other legendaries, which I don't think I have a ton of, but I do have a few. So do I want to take off the personality here and replace it with something else? Not necessarily. This has speed, endurance, and all resists. This has speed, hit points. I don't like that combination, if I'm being honest. I like the combination that I have on this. And it's required level 65 right now. So let's just upgrade this once. That gave me 9 levels. Do we want to pump this further than that? I don't know if we're just going to hold off because we can get up to like 12 levels off of it. I don't think we want to do that. So we're gonna hold this here. We have this, which gives 25 to all resists, which isn't super optimal. So I think what I'd like to have in the end game is, I think what I'd like to have is potentially 1 legendary. I want my legendaries to basically have, I'm basically thinking of dedicating 1 item to endurance hit points, or maybe just straight hit points, because endurance is going to come out of favor earlier than raw hit points do. This is probably going to eventually be equipped on someone who actually uses spells, because my SP pool is going to increase, and I'm not going to be increasing the Ascension skill that much. So probably this will be going into play on Sortira eventually. Speed and hit points is not a bad choice for Sortira eventually. I don't like the hit points being tied up with speed unless I'm only going to have... You know, it's actually fine, because we'll worry about that later. The specific itemization can be tinkered with as we finalize our gear. Though it is easier to itemize lower level gear because we have more ability to reroll, because you just keep pumping the stats until you get what you want. So optimally what I want, we have a lot of legendary slots, and I optimally want to have like maybe only 1 enchant slot dedicated to pure hit points, and maybe 1 dedicated to endurance, or alternatively maybe just 2 slots dedicated to hit points. I think 2 slots dedicated to hit points on every character might be the way to go, because we're going to get endurance from the Of Doom enchants that we're sticking around, though we're also getting hit points from that. But we're getting a lot less hit points than we are relative to the value of the stat. So the a plus HP enchantment is more valuable in terms of hit points than the Doom stat is, because Doom just gives you 10, but 10 is less than the. So how do we want to handle this? I think this is fine. We will probably just work with that. What level are you? You're level 84. Do I want to rework this item in a major way? I think I do. I think I might want to rework this into Might and of Doom, if I can. So we're gonna find out whether we can rework this item completely. We have so many Scouring Pearls right now. And wait, we can't rework the Endurance. Actually. The Endurance can't be reworked. I don't have a Hourglass at all. So we can't rework the Endurance, which is too bad. I have so many Scouring Pearls. I have more Scouring Pearls than I have Eyes and Hourglasses combined. It's very funny. The previous time I had so few Scouring Pearls, and this time it's just raining Scouring Pearls. Let's see. Yeah, let's try to purge the resists, I guess. Purge the one stat that I really didn't want to purge at all. Let's see. We don't even need to tinker with it. We got it immediately. So that's convenient. So we got this of Doom. Let's go. So this is pretty solid already. This is in a really good position as an item. It's not quite what I want, because I will eventually want to get rid of the Endurance. Because I do think that I'm probably not going to have any Endurance. I will, because I'm not going to actually be able to perfect my items. But I do think that in a perfect world, if I was really thinking about it, I probably would dedicate 2 enchantment slots to raw hit points, and everything else to, either mitigation or damage. I think that is probably optimal. And it's tempting to put Endurance, except for the fact that I do feel like the... what am I looking for? Yes, I need to... just need one of these, I believe. Yes. So, that will help a decent bit. And we're getting ourselves into a stronger position with this stuff as well. Okay, so we've got that item in a good position for now. This helmet, we can't rewrite any of the stats. We could level it up a few times, get ourselves some extra durability and stuff like that. Do you have any legendaries? You do. You have these boots that are not worth upgrading, really. Do you have any legendaries? I actually have so many legendaries stacked on Severia right now. Let's see. So you have these, which I think are... This is a perfectly reasonable stat block, especially because these are actually... So this is the legendary that gives crit chance boost, and it basically allows you to go over 100% with crit chance. So this is actually a very useful item to have the particular stat block that it has on it. This is pretty much perfect already. I don't have any reason why I feel like I should upgrade this to a different, or why I should change the stats on this. So I feel very comfortable maxing this out completely. So we can't use those. We can use those. So we're gonna basically just max this item out as far as we can right now. And this is an important character to max out as well, because they are a high damage target, and they're also a highly important target because of their supplying me with regeneration. So, any more of those? I need more crafting amber. Surely we have some crafting amber in play, yes, yes. Somewhere. We simply must. There's one more. There's one more. There's one more. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, that's probably enough to get to the topaz phase. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, none of those are going to be crafting. We have quite a lot of crafting amber available. Nice. Okay, so we probably can only do this one or two more times. Okay, that's up to 90. And we can go with you. Yes. Okay, so we're up to 112 speed and 112 luck. And do we have another tier of these we can use? I don't think so, right? I don't think we have any of the 90s yet. Okay. So, speed and luck boosted by 112 instead now, except we're also going to pump the level on this. We have a lot of control cubes, or crafting cubes rather, and I think that it makes sense to just pump this up because it has the appropriate affix, we have a lot of crafting cubes, and we have an enchant that's very solid. So, do this. That pumps us to 69 vitality. You can tell that we made the correct choice. This was objectively the correct choice. The game has spoken. Okay? Let's go. Let's see here. We have the ability to upgrade this further later, but for now this is pretty much capped out. And let's see here. I'm going to check this actually. So we're going to hit save. And you're at 1515 and 6969. And before we did this, that's a big upgrade actually. It's the only thing that I did, just upgrading this. Because just upgrading this one piece and getting that big of an upgrade is pretty fucking crazy, actually. So, we're going to reload to test. And I did just notice that we have another thing here. This has Divine Protection on it. And this is another really solid piece that we could pump a level into if we want. I'm not going to pump a level into this, though. This doesn't give AC. So I'm not going to pump a level into this, even though it's going to pump the Doom, because it's just like +1 to all stats, which is not worth a crafting cube on its own. Whereas +1, like getting the base armor boost and things like that, I think is valuable enough to justify in conjunction with the other stuff. So do I want to pump the speed and accuracy on this? Potentially, but maybe not. I could slap that onto her if I wanted, and I don't think I want to do that. I could swap this to someone else to even things out, but doing so would remove this. No, we can't. That's not the right choice. The right choice is to leave that alone for now. We're done with it, with modifying Cortal's gear. Cortal's gear is done for right now. As soon as we, change things, it'll be fine. I'm not gonna keep this exact setup forever just to maintain that, but that's a good place to end tinkering for today. I think. So we have a suit of legendary chain on you that we have plus 25 to all stats, which is not really what we would want necessarily. But do I care enough to actually replace it at this particular moment? I don't think so. So pump this once. That'll give us a little bit of a boost, just +2 to everything, and a little bit of extra AC. That works fairly well. Right, we can get Enlightenment up to Grand Mastery. So Grand Mastery is 20. Let's tag that up to 20. We now have Grandmaster Enlightenment. Very, very nice. Let's see. You have... Wow, your damage is so much worse. Yeah, these two are starting to pull really far ahead because they have all the legendaries basically. We have one legendary on this character, which is making up for their armor deficit. They actually have more AC than the Death Knight, which is pretty cool. But let's see here. We've got a bunch of random bullshit here. How are we going to improve you? I feel like we are going to improve you eventually by giving you your Darkness Spear. And this is actually going to be a weaker item when we first equip it. But this is going to be a very powerful weapon for allowing Ulrun to survive and thrive, I think. It's of darkness and a bunch of HP on it, which is a good combination, I think. Okay, then. What else do we have to deal with? Because I think that what we're going to do is we're going to basically finish our inventory management. First. So how's our regen on this character now? Regen is now 29. With 17 versus 15. They're both going to get expertise eventually. And let's take a look at your HP regen. It is 29.2. And it is 44. So that's tripling my regen. That's not too bad. I think that tripling the regen is pretty good. Especially because the out-of-combat regen effect is actually pretty strong. Regen comes into play more effectively once you get to the point where you start getting the increased regen thing. I don't know the details on that. But basically, if you haven't been hit in a while, your regen increases. So that is good for when you're able to disengage for a period of time to be able to then come back into things quicker and stuff like that. Makes things more effective, I think. So what else do we need to do before we end the day? I'm going to take a look. You don't really have much in the way of legendaries. I could move this. If I move this, I run into the issue that I now have a cost of 67. So heal for 245. I'm not sure if I want to transition this over yet. In part because this is such a durability focused item that I've got on right now that I don't know that it makes sense to give that to someone who really is not in a difficult position vitality wise. Let's take a look at this again. Yeah, I don't think that it makes sense to make that transition over. It will be doing it eventually, but we don't need to do it right now. We have a bunch of garbage in play still. We have this trident to eventually equip. And we've upgraded this legendary. Do we have any other legendaries on you that we want to pump? This is at 74 already. Oh, I guess I can pump this item if I want. Oh god, I still have a bunch of gear that I haven't sold. Alright, we're gonna sell some of this gear. So the hope here is that over the course of the next couple areas, we start getting
Finest armor in the land.
some of the stuff that we need to get our build a bit more finalized. We need to get a legendary dagger at some point. We're currently wearing very weak daggers. This is a level 38 dagger. This is an Of the Dragon dagger. That's great, but it's only level 48. So both the base damage and the enchant are both weaker as a result of that. So what we need to have in play is basically one weapon for each character that will basically act as the baseline to build off of. Because I have all this crafting stuff, and I'm not going to use it on a bunch of stuff that's not legendary. I'm simply not.
Finest armor
I don't have an item that is worth that kind of investment in play. We don't have... this is okay, but it's not great. It's got fire and earth resistance on it, which is definitely not... best in slot dagger vibes. So
Finest weapons in the land.
it kind of depends on when you do it.
Come again.
But it's pretty hard. It's a very high level dungeon. There's a bunch of energy damage in play. In some aspects of Tomb of Varn are easier on this mod than they are in vanilla Might and Magic 6, because of the fact that Might and Magic 6 has a particular thing that it does with ranged enemies, where ranged enemies will fly a certain amount above you that is almost but not quite impossible to hit. If you jump and hit them. So, well, for me, that causes a problem because I use exclusively melee attacks. So there's one room that's full of Jinn that in vanilla is a huge pain and takes a huge amount of time to clear through. It's a it's a big struggle that I don't have to deal with here because it has a different set of AI behaviors. So the movement on the enemies is just different. So because it's in Might and Magic 8. It's Might and Magic 8, and then it's Merge, and then it's Mod. Like, it's just fundamentally different behavior set. So there's that. But yeah, it's a big deal. It's got the enemies have a energy attack, which is an issue, and they have a mixed energy they have a mixed ranged and melee capacity. So
Finest armor
it's a pretty difficult dungeon, and it's very high level. So if you're going in there, it is a challenge. But it's hard to say like how much harder or easier it is, because of the fact that the balance on it is just fundamentally different, because it depends on when you go in, right? Like as a random example, if you were to like make it as hard as humanly possible, you clear out all of Might and Magic 7, all of Might and Magic 8, and don't level it all, but you get all of that experience. I don't know how you're doing this, but we're just making this as hard as humanly possible, right? Just the theoretical maximum. You clear out both of those, you get all this experience, and then you go to Tomb of Varn, and the enemies in the Tomb of Varn are like level 300, and you're level 1. That's an insane task to deal with. That's the one extreme. If you clear Tomb of Varn after having cleared 7 and 8 and 6, it's more similar to the default, because your level will be like catching back up to where the Tomb of Varn itself is supposed to be. If you're doing a run like this, I have no idea, because I don't know what the level balance is going to be between me and the enemies by the time we get to Tomb of Varn. So the Tomb of Varn enemies might be much lower level than me. They might still be higher level than me by the time we get there. I have no way of knowing in advance, because it's the way that the experience is handled is complicated. There's a lot of different moving parts, and I just don't have any way to gauge what that will look like by then. Generally speaking, with this kind of a run, I will catch up to enemies more over the course of the run, but by how much we'll find out. Basically. All right, we have Power Cure, which we definitely don't need. Wait, we have Telekinesis. Let's see.
Great.
That's a greater hero. Okay.
I can use this.
I didn't give all these books out when I got access.
I can't learn
We
that.
don't have Mastery. We have the Prophecies of the Sun, which we apparently don't get rid of when we turn in the quest. Okay. Anything else that we need to do before we are ready to go to Murmur Woods and die horribly? I don't know that there is. I think we might have gotten the prep work that we need done. We got a little bit of crafting done. Some of that crafting was very helpful. Other crafting that we did was marginally useful. And other crafting that we did was kind of pointless because we can't equip it yet. But this will be very valuable when we do this. Once we switch over to this, it's going to be a big difference in power. This is currently at the weakest that it's going to be. We need like 4 or 5 Ascension Emeralds to pump this item up. And so the base power on this is trash because it's such a low tier item. But we're gonna eventually max this thing out, right? So once we've got that, that'll help us a lot. We'll be able to pump up the hit points on it and all that jazz. It's gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. So I think we're gonna end things here for now. Actually, we're gonna end a little bit early because I don't think that we need to really do too much more. We're in a pretty good situation. We're more powerful than we were. What did I do with you? What did I do to you? Why are you more powerful now? Oh, because I increased my I think it's because I increased my staff skill, which increases all my resist. So, actually, we will spend the rest of our skill points before we end. So, let's go ahead and look at what we're going to do. I think we're going to pump plate, shield, bodybuilding. Do we get sword caught up? Do we have any reason to? Yeah, we kind of might as well, right? Not right now, though. Not right now. We're getting plate and shield up again. So we're now up to 18,242 vitality. We don't have any sustain on this character, but we do have quite a lot of HP and mitigation. Once we get some better healing, we'll be in a very strong position with that character. We're going to get really crazy when we cure that insanity. That on its own is going to make a big difference. Let's see here. We've got you. What do you want to do? You have such high vitality without having really invested too much into this stuff. You do, however, have a pretty solid piece of gear here. The issue is that because it's leather, we don't get that crazy of gains from it, you know? It's like, it's not that intense. Do we want to get arms and dagger equaled out? I don't know that we do. We've got this up to mastery. So this is 3 damage, 2 attack, and 1 speed. So this is basically the same, except we get some crit. It's 0.5% per level. What's my crit chance right now? It's 49 point. I think I'm going to just maintain the current relationship between these two for now. I'm not going to worry about it too much. We're up to 1,622 melee damage. Not too bad. And we're going to keep all of your stuff equal still. I'm going to grab the magic first, and then we will get this. Okay, so we're up to 1,593 now. It's a pretty decent little boost. We've got some skill points on you. And let's get Spear caught up to Axe, actually. I think that makes sense. So we'll be getting 1.2 resist taken off with each hit. So on Monday, we will be proceeding into the Druid Monolith thing in Murmurwoods. It's going to be a very difficult dungeon, I think. We are probably going to spend the entirety of Monday on it. We might not actually finish it on Monday. I don't know how we're going to beat that dungeon. It's such a crazy dungeon. Though, that being said, I had similar feelings about Garrick's Forge once I started getting into it. And Garrick's Forge ended up being reasonable. So, we'll just have to see how it goes. We have the advantage that the enemies aren't going to explode on me. So, that's useful. The boulders can't move. That's very useful. But we don't have, to my knowledge, I don't think we found any really solid locations to fight in the dungeon. Like, I'm trying to think. I don't know that we found anywhere that I would consider to be like a really good, solid location to fight. So the entryway is really bad. There's a bunch of boulders in there. The boulders have the potential to hit me with rocks that just insta-give me. Maybe they won't insta-give me anymore. We'll see. But that's going to be a difficult thing. So on Monday, we'll be doing that because it's currently Friday. It's the weekend, so thank you everyone for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure to stream this for you today. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some crazy shit on Monday and get through that. Once we get through that, it's smooth sailing all the way to our promotions. Later, folks.